Willie McFarland, you're meant for this.
My middle name's O'Reilly.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
So I take it you're what? Hispanic?
Nailed it.
Thank you. Is this one longer than that one? Because I'm gonna be like,
Oh, chord
yeah,
wise?
yeah. Get some slack on that guy.
I think they're the same length. I can scoot into it if we want more room.
Whatever you guys are. Hello and welcome to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. It is the PlayOn Sports pregame show live from Dougherty Valley High School in beautiful San Ramon, California. I am Eric Hodge, joined with Willie McFarland on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting American Eagles against the host Dougherty Valley Wildcats. American High comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 1-1, while the home team Dougherty Valley is looking for their first win of the season, coming into tonight's game at 0-2. First off, Willie McFarland, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, great environment out here in San Ramon at Dougherty Valley High School. Dougherty Valley still looking to get off the snide. 0-2 coming into the season. I know you got a chance to talk to head coach Nick Teza before game time. What was he saying about this 0-2 start, and how do they kind of bounce back from that?
Well, they've got a lot of youth on this team. They've got 3 out of 8 seniors are hurt. And they're starting 8 sophomores, and they're just having a hard time kind of getting used to the pace of the game and their new schemes. What they need to do is just kind of have their younger guys step up and play well and limit mistakes. And they've prepared. They're prepared for American, and coach is really hoping to just come out and young guys step up and play well.
Yeah, you mentioned the youth movement there for Dougherty and how big it's going to be for them. Flip the script here a little bit, and let's talk a little bit about the American Eagles. 1-1 on the season. They started off week 1 with a huge win over Arroyo out of San Lorenzo, 12-0. However, they lost last week to Granada out of Livermore, 28-0. I mean, you never want to get shut out, but at this point of the season, week 3, talking to head coach Brett Casey, it seems like they've kind of figured some things out, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, they've got a young team as well. Somewhat, they've graduated a lot of seniors coming into this year, and he credited the loss last week to a lot of mistakes, a lot of drop passes, and some turnovers here and there. And what they've been able to do though is they've kind of found rhythm in their running game, and they really like to go to Pinckney. He's been playing well, and they're also really prepared for a tough matchup here, knowing that Dougherty is hungry for the first win. And is going to come out fighting and scratching and clawing, and so they've prepared tough, and coach just really wants them to cut down on mistakes, and he thinks they'll be fine.
Yeah, you mentioned Americans Robert Pinckney. Now, he is a senior running back who is just lightning fast. In fact, this is his first year of varsity football. So I would imagine that first year attitude is something anyone wants to covet. With that said, What's it going to take for Dougherty Valley to kind of get off the snide here and really compete against this team that looks pretty athletic?
Yeah, like I said, it's about stepping up, and they've just got to come out. They've got to be able to mentally overcome, uh, going 0-2, and kind of say, okay, season starts here today. Forget about the last 2 weeks. Just come out fast, and just take it to these guys, and they should be fine.
Yeah, you definitely have to have that short-term memory here in the high school football season. All right, Willie, thanks for the insight. That's going to do it for tonight's PlayOnSports.com pregame show. We'll be right back with the kickoff in just a few moments. Friday Night Football begins next on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. Coming to you live from San Ramon, California. I am Eric Hodge, joined with Willie McFarland. And here we go. The kickoff between American and Dougherty Valley gets kicked off here, and we're set to go.
Well, decent field position starting off here, off somewhat of a pooch kick. Couldn't tell if he shanked it or if that was a call. Often you see that kick used in high school. So decent starting position. We'll see what they can do with it.
That's right, extremely decent starting position for American High School here. Coming off a shutout loss last week, they're going to try to get anything going offensively right now as we speak.
And we'll see what they like to do. They talked about the rhythm in the running game. And we'll see how soon they go to it and see if it gets going for them early.
1st and 10 for American. And it's their tailback, Robert Pinkney, picking up the 4-yard gain for American. And Pinkney got a lot of publicity. We went to go talk with American's head coach before game time. So the kid's going to get basically what the head coach told us, a lot of playing time tonight.
Yeah, well, he's a basketball player, and his first year on varsity. He's got quickness, obviously, and we'll see if he breaks one here. A nice chunk on first down.
Okay, 2nd and 5 now for American. And they go back to Pinckney. But Dougherty Valley there in the gut to stop it on a dime. Wow, Dougherty Valley really coming in on full tilt there.
Yeah, that was some good shedding of the blocks up front. Pinckney, not too much room, tried to cut it back inside. And looks like maybe even just a little bit of a loss. So nice play by the front line of Dougherty.
And that was Wildcats' Justin Fong making the tackle in the backfield there. Dropping American back down to 3rd and 7 now as they lost a couple yards in that play. Big 3rd down play coming up for American. And the pass looks like it is incomplete for wide receiver Sigon Giwa.
Well, it was really close to being caught, and I actually liked the throw from the quarterback. He brought him back in away from the defenders, and it was across the first down marker. It was almost perfectly placed. Problem was just couldn't hang on, probably a little too low, but nice to lead him back towards the quarterback as a wide receiver. Just got to put that foot in the ground and come back and find the ball.
And that quarterback you mentioned is Ryan Barker, only a junior for American. In fact, last year he started as a sophomore. The punt is off. As Dougherty Valley backs off, and American will down the ball at around the 15-yard line. So nice little punt there for American as Dougherty Valley will start things off on the 15-yard line. Hey, good defensive start there for Dougherty Valley to start this game.
Absolutely, and a nice bounce on that punt. Get him all the way back inside the 20. And we got a little guy. Looks like he wants to get out there and hit somebody. But their refs say, get off the field, kid.
Yeah, referring to the ball boy out there. You know, in fact, I used to be a ball boy when I was about that age. So, yeah, it's good exercise. Look at it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Future tailback.
All right. Dougherty Valley's first offensive possession getting going here on the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. And that is a little counter to halfback number 28,
And that was
Afalobi Adati.
Yeah, and that was big number 56, Nate Berry with the tackle. Just got great penetration and shed the block quick and basically got him 2 steps after the handoff, nowhere to go for the running back.
Yeah, Dougherty loses 2 yards on that play, bringing up 2nd and 12 now. Wildcats to the air. Almost completed there to wide out. Number 18 for Dougherty Valley, which is Aaron Doe. Doe almost making the tough grab, but couldn't bring it in with those hands. Tough catch there for Doe to try and make.
Got a step. He got a step on, looks like number 15. Or yeah, the sun is tough. I can't see from this angle, but got a step on the cornerback. And a nice throw, but a good play by the corner to kind of stick close to him and break it up.
Brings up 3rd and 12 now for Dougherty. Again to the air. He's got a man open. Just a little overthrown. It's D'Angelo Cox, the wideout for Dougherty Valley. Couldn't make the grab.
Sorry, correction. That was D'Angelo Cox, the DB with that nice breakup of the 2nd down pass.
All right, that's going to bring up 4th and long now for Dougherty Valley, as this game so far has really been a defensive stalwart.
Yeah, both teams kind of stalling on the running game a little bit. Some nice stops up front, having to go to the pass early, unable to complete. I think what we're going to see is a battle of who can get their running game started sooner. Start moving those chains earlier, and we're going to see some great field position here.
And Wildcats punter Calvin Montano with a great punt. American will start off 1st and 10 at about their 46. You know, you mentioned the sun earlier on, and up here in the press box, we are directly looking at the sun right now, so bear with us as we're trying to find out who is out there right now. But that sun will go down shortly here. All right, 1st and 10 now for American High School. Iwasaka and Shet. And that is tailback Eric Adair picking up a couple yards, trying to scramble in and out of there. You know, it feels like both these teams are really just trying to get a feel for each other and see what kind of defense they're going to play. Adair picking up a couple yards, leading to 2nd and 7 for American.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of case of the nerves early on here. He had a nice lead from his fullback going out to the right. He chose to duck inside on an inside cut. His fullback blocking him to the outside. So a little miscommunication there.
All right, 2nd and 7. They go back to the ground. That is fullback Drew Lyell of American High School. Still going to the gut there, picking up another couple of yards, making it 3rd and about 6 now for American. Still going to that running game.
Yeah, and those are some nice runs there, and they're in a manageable 3rd down situation here. Last time they were a couple yards back, went to the pass. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another run here, try and chew up some more yardage and perhaps go for it on 4th down.
American drops back. Ryan Barker drops back, loses the ball, fumble. As American falls back on it, but loses about 15 yards on the play. That is tailback Drew Lyell falling on the ball. And thank goodness for American that Drew Lyell had the sense to actually fall on that ball, not try to pick it up and gain a couple yards, because we've seen what can happen with that. You know, the ball will stumble around, and American Dougherty could have picked it up. So that's going to bring up 4th and really long, so American elects to punt.
That was a big defensive play, because what could have been really bad field position could turn into a nice little run back here. We'll see.
And that is Dougherty Valley's Aaron Doe on the punt return, picking up a couple yards there on the sideline. And like we mentioned before, wow, I'm pretty impressed with the defense on both sides of the ball so far.
Absolutely. Big forced fumble on that last series. No one's really been able to do too much offensively. Seen a couple nice runs from American there. We'll see if Dougherty can get their running game going and see if they can get a 1st down on this series.
You know, talking to Eagles head coach Brett Casey before game time, he said this team is more athletic than last year's team. So athleticism really a key word for this team. We want to see it pop out here on the offensive side of the ball here for, American Dougherty, or rather Dougherty Valley, rather. Nick Tiza, the head coach, saying that his team is more athletic than last year's team. Let's take a look. And they elect to run it up the gut again. No gain on the carry there for tailback Austin Larkin.
Well, they haven't been able to get much on 1st down. I think American is kind of keying in on the run on 1st down. We'll see. A lot of times, even if you're not getting a lot of yardage, you want to stay with it so you can establish a running game, even though you might not be doing too well early on. Last series, they went to a pass right away on 2nd and 3rd down to try to make up for the not too much yardage on 1st down. We'll see if they do a similar tactic here.
2nd and 10 now. Dougherty with the completion. It is Umar Farik to Calvin Montano for a nice 17-yard pickup there.
Yeah, nice play. Montano able to find a little crease in the defense, and a nice sharp little throw there, and get our 1st down. 1st down of the game. So passing game, kind of like in the passing game from Dougherty. We'll see if they stick with it. Another 1st down, and maybe switch it up and go straight to the pass here.
1st and 10 now for the Wildcats. And we've got our first flag of the game out. What apparently looks like a false start. You know, going back to Dougherty Valley's quarterback, Umar Farik, he's one of those athletes that likes to play a couple of sports throughout the season. While he's not quarterbacking for this football team, he likes to play basketball as well. And, you know, I've always been a firm believer. If you can play 2 sports at any level, you're pretty talented.
Yeah, absolutely. And most sports skills will cross over in certain ways. And, yeah, it's not uncommon to have guys talented in one and just be able to switch right over and be good at the other. And made a couple nice throws here early.
All right, 1st and 15 again. Farik drop it back. He's got a man on the sideline. Underthrown as Farik is hit hard in the backfield there. American's defensive line got there in a hurry and really made Farik rush on that play. Otherwise, he had a man open down the sideline there.
Yeah, actually, you know, Terry George, number 80, for American. He played it pretty well. I think the guy had about a step, and he said, "Hey, it's one-on-one. Let me throw it up here and let my receiver make a play." But George, pretty tall guy. I think kind of a risky throw there. Might have been affected by the hit.
All right, 2nd and 15 now for the Wildcats. Electing to go with a handoff again up the gut, and no room to run in that gut so far. Hand it to American's front line for really closing those gaps in a hurry. That's going to bring up 3rd and 15 for Dougherty Valley.
Yeah, they're making them go to the pass, beat them with the pass. They like their chances with their DBs on the outside, and just making sure they stop the run. Now we got a big long 3rd down here. You got to go pass, but you don't want to go too crazy here, give up some good field position with an interception or something like that. So I don't know if they try to maybe do a draw or something, just kind of chew up some yards. Interesting call from coach here, see where he goes.
3rd and 15. An end-around play here for tailback number 35, and that is Lanray Delkin for Dougherty Valley, picking up about 6 yards, and they did elect to stay to the ground despite the 3rd and 15. You like that call?
Yeah, I think early on, you don't want to get too risky. Put your punter in a better position to get some yards back, and your defense has been playing well, and just put it in their hands. He's not worried about his defense, so a lot of trust there.
All right, that brings about 4th and 8, and Dougherty Valley electing to punt. This is punter Calvin Montano with the pooch. Gets a nice little forward progression there, and that ball's going to end up pretty well for Dougherty Valley. Down to the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 American. So really, so far, they call football a chess match. So far, kind of a chess match, huh?
Yeah, it's been both teams seem to have been prepared for the run, and both teams are kind of getting shut down. I think it's going to be who makes the adjustment, either different run calls here and there, or who gets their passing game started up, because both defenses seem to have been practicing for strong running games all week, and it's showing here.
All right, 1st and 10 now for the Eagles. Yeah, we have a playing stoppage here. Referee's discussing something out there. We mentioned the Americans' record 1-1 to start the season. They picked up that big win versus Arroyo, 12-0 to pick up their first win of the season in week 1. All right, here we go. Plays back in session, and that is a little sweep out to their tailback, number 2, Eric Adair. And Adair's got some daylight. He's cut it inside, stumbles and cut it back upfield. Had some daylight back in the middle of the field, but tripped over his own feet, tackled by himself. Adair steps away there, but stumbled over the shoelaces. He's going to kick himself in the morning after seeing that highlight tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he got the edge and made a nice little cut to shake the edge contain. And, yeah, you're right. That was I thought he was gone for sure on that play. We'll see. It's going to be called back, it looks like, here for a holding. But what I take from that play is they went sideline there, took to the edge. I wouldn't be surprised. We see some more running plays kind of swinging their backs out to the outside to see if they can get the edge.
You really hate to see the yellow flag come out on that play. You pick up 50 yards like that. Talking to head coach Brett Casey before the game, he said, the one thing that killed us in our loss last week to Granada was penalties. They had 9 penalties last week, and here they go, going back to the penalties. They lose 50 yards on that one play because of that stupid yellow flag.
Yeah, costly penalty, but at least Adair won't have to worry about that trip tomorrow morning. Like you said, wouldn't have mattered anyways.
All right, that's going to bring up about 1st and 8. And the Eagles electing to the ground game again, and that is a look at fullback Drew Lyell getting another carry, picking up a nice little gain there of about 6 yards. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8.
Well, that's a good first down chunk, and now we're going to kind of see if Coach Casey can dig a little deeper in the playbook here with the 2nd and short. So far, most first downs have been kind of stifled, so he's got some options here on 2nd down.
All right, 2nd and 2 now for American High School. Quarterback Ryan Barker dropping back in. It is a handoff again, this time again to Adair. And Adair bouncing around, picking up that first down, and that gives American their first down of the ball game with about 5 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, nice little rumble for about 5 yards, tough running. Kind of a conservative play call with 2nd and short, but you know, if you haven't moved the chains yet, kind of want to get that one out of the way if you got the shot rather than risk a short 3rd down.
Okay, that brings up 1st and 10 now for the Eagles from their 35. And they stay with the run again. This time back out to the outside, and that's Drew Lyell again, picking up another good gain there for American. Picks up about 7 yards. And you mentioned it, you alluded to it before, that when they burst it outside there and do the little toss and little counter to the outside, that's really helping pick up a couple extra yards.
Yeah, well, it could be a number of factors. Perhaps the linebackers for Dougherty playing a little too close to the line of scrimmage, getting beat to the outside, but we'll see if they can make that adjustment defensively, because I think they're going to keep running to the outside throughout the game.
All right, 2nd and 1 now. And that is our first look at American's Arturo Basturto as he picks up the first down, picking up 3 yards. So sticking with that run. Hey, if it's working, right?
Exactly. I will say I'm a little surprised, but just wanting to move the chains, not risking going up for it on 3rd down or something like that. Just keep taking chunks, but more conservative play calling from Coach Casey.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 47. And it's back to the ground again. This time, Lyell to the outside, nowhere to go. And, ooh, big time hit there by number 55 for Dougherty Valley High School. That is a look at Matt Yates, the senior leader for Dougherty Valley's defense, the middle linebacker there. Nice little hit there by Yates. Wide open hit, and yeah, he definitely signed, sealed, and delivered.
Well, it looks like they had enough of the running backs beating them to the outside, and absolutely big hit there from Yates.
All right, that's going to push it back to 2nd and 12 now for American High School. Sticking to the ground again. And that's about 2-yard gain there for the Eagles. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Well, I'm interested to see if he takes the chance in his passing game. We haven't seen much of it yet, and might be that Coach Casey is comfortable with the defensive battle. We'll see how crazy he gets here on this play call if he decides to go for it and get that first.
Okay, 3rd and 9 now for American with about 2:30 left to play in the first quarter. Let's see if they decide to finally air it out here down 3rd and 9 here. And that's Barker dropping back, throws a dart, and nice catch there by Adair across the middle. He's got some daylight to the outside, bounces, and is tripped up by number 80 for Dougherty Valley. That is a tackle by Kiefer Longson, but boy, Adair, he's got that little burst of speed, and what's most impressive is his ability there to get the yards after catch on that play.
Absolutely, and a fantastic catch. A bullet thrown a little bit behind him, a little bit behind Adair, still able to make the grab, and not only that, chew up some extra yardage after that. I like that throw, though, and I like that play call. Got to move the chains, got to put some points on the board, and nice cannon there.
Yeah, really the first time we got a chance to see Barker show off his arm. All right, it's going to bring up 1st and 10 now for American High School from their 17-yard line. And they elect to go back to the run. This is Lyell again. And Lyell is stumbled across by Dougherty Valley's defensive end, and that is a look at Andre Edinger with a nice tackle for Dougherty Valley. Big play there defensively for Dougherty Valley there as the American Eagles were driving. Really, you like to see the loss of yards.
Yeah, that's always nice, especially getting down into this red zone area. A nice tackle for the loss, and so now we've seen the sweeps to the outside not quite as effective as early in the ball game.
Okay, 2nd and 12 now. And it is back to Adair, trying to cut it outside, but Austin Larkin getting into the backfield and making the nice tackle for a loss of 3 for Dougherty Valley. And Austin Larkin, a fun little fact about Austin, You might recognize the last name Larkin. Yes. Does Barry Larkin ring a bell? Yes, just elected in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Austin is his nephew. So there's some athletic ability in that family, safe to say.
Safe to say, absolutely.
All right, that's going to bring up third and long here for American High School. And we've got a flag out on the play, which looks like a false start by the Eagles.
Well, even though they lost a couple yards on each of the past couple running plays, I think we might be able to see some bigger openings in the passing games when we switch it to play action. So even though you lose some yardage on a handoff here and there, you're still getting that defense. You're used to seeing that handoff, and when the moment presents itself, you can go to play action, and sometimes you can hit a home run.
And correction on that penalty, it was encroachment on the defense, so American will pick up an extra 5 yards and make it about third and 13 now. So that aggressiveness coming out on the defensive side, as Coach Nick Teaser probably not too angry about that penalty considering his defense has been really aggressive here in the red zone. All right, bring it up third and 13 now for the Eagles. And there's another flag on the field. False start on American, dropping it back. So those yards they just picked up, and they just lost them.
Well, it makes me wonder if Barker's going to a hard count to try to pick up some easy yards and make it easier to move the chains. Sometimes you end up tricking your own players, though.
This is very true. It tricked me. I would have jumped. All right, we are at third and about 17 now. American trying to pick up the first down and get our first score of the game here. 3 seconds left in the first quarter. And it looks like Barker's just going to let the play clock run down here. And there you have it. That's the end of the first quarter. All knotted up at zeros here in San Ramon at Dougherty Valley High School. Well, we came into the game saying this is probably going to be a defensive stalwart, and so far that's what we've seen.
It sure has been. And now we're going in their, what was it, their place, I think, on about the 25. So a decision here. Do you try to run it into the middle of the field perhaps and give your field goal kicker a nice setup? Or do you air it out and hopefully get the first like they did prior in this series and hopefully go for 6? So that'll be a interesting play call here. I can't say where coaches, given that it's a defensive battle, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a setup for the field goal kicker, just try to get some points on the board.
Yeah, you really get a feeling after watching that first quarter of play that this is one of those games that's going to really come down to the last possession. Who's going to have the ball last? Who's going to grind it out? Who wants this victory the most? I want to go back to one of the defensive players for Dougherty Valley. The middle linebacker, Matt Yates, is being highly looked at by colleges, especially in Michigan. You might ask, why Michigan? Well, Matt Yates is originally from Michigan. Says he wants to go back and play some football in his home state. So good luck to Matt. Okay, start of the second quarter here in San Ramon at Dougherty Valley High School as American is driving here. Third and about 17 for the Eagles. Barker dropping back the pass, and the ball is deflected there by Austin Larkin. Great hands there by Larkin, and brings up the perfect point. Did I mention his uncle is Barry Larkin?
Yeah, heads up defensive play, and
those were shortstop hands right there.
They absolutely were. And he's reading the quarterback the whole way, able to glide right into the passing lane, and now we're going to see a long fourth down and electing to go for it.
Yeah, decision making here. Can't really punt, so American electing to go for it on fourth and about 17. Big play here. And we have a flag which apparently looks to be a false start by American. Or excuse me, it was a timeout by American. Good timeout there for American as they kind of seemed a little jitterbug about what to do on fourth and really long.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Thank you, Willie.
Well, we've seen certainly a lot of penalties on this series. both ways, but several false starts, which is not going to make any coach happy, to say the least. And it looks like still going to try to go for it here, and I guess just trying to get him in bad field position. I don't know, maybe a trick play here. Interesting call on 4th and 20, so see what happens here.
Yeah, at the high school level, that's kind of a long field goal, about a 43-yarder from this distance. So, yeah, you pretty much have to elect to go for it. Barker dropping back. Got room to run. He's going to cut up the gut, and he's got some room at the sideline. It's leveled there by number 12 for Dougherty Valley, and that is Andre Ediger with a nice tackle to stop Barker from doing any more damage. But give credit to Barker seeing the hole open up there in the middle of the play.
It was a great run. I thought he was going to get stopped about 10 yards shorter than what he ended up doing. He's able to bounce it to the outside. But if you look at it, I mean, now they're pushed back all the way and just about as effective as a great punt would be. So like the run there from Barker, and your defense is playing well. So if they can hold up strong here, you can get field position, and that's kind of what we're seeing in this game here is a field position battle.
You know, I'm watching head coach, Dougherty Valley's head coach, Nick Teza, down on the sideline right now, and he took his hat off and started jumping up in the air. You could tell he was fired up for his defense making that big play, and Andre Ediger making the big stop to prevent American from picking up that first down.
Definitely an important stop. I think it was, 2 or 3 yards shy of the first, which would have been trouble.
Yeah, had Ediger not gotten there, I think that might have been a score for American High School.
Absolutely, and these points are very, very expensive in this game, so big stop from the defense.
All right, that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for Dougherty Valley High School from about the 10-yard line. Sun is going down, and it's safe to say we can see the players now.
Yeah, much better. Lights coming on, and who doesn't like watching football under some lights? It's awesome.
Yeah, in my opinion, one of the greatest feelings and one of the greatest sports events is high school football on a Friday night. And when the weather is perfect, about 72 degrees here in San Ramon High School, boy, I'm telling you, you can't beat that. All right, 1st and 10 now for Dougherty Valley as the refs decide to stop play. Not quite sure what they're discussing over there.
But the referee's pointing one way and coach is pointing the other way. It's kind of puzzling, and everyone's confused.
And now the referees are talking with head coach Nick Teza. Teza maybe buying some time, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of curious, but should get things started up here. No penalty, so still not sure on what was the mix-up.
Okay, we're ready to go. 1st and 10 now for Dougherty Valley. Quarterback Umar Farik dropping back, and they elect to hand it off, and this time to big fullback Austin Larkin. That's that Larkin kid again. He looks like he's playing both sides of the ball. Not only does he play linebacker for Dougherty Valley, making defensive stops, it looks like when they need a couple of hard yards, they go to Larkin there. Bet you $100 he plays baseball. What do you think?
will not take that bet.
All right, that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 now for Dougherty Valley, and that is a play action, but big time hit from Americans number 55, a defensive end, Andrew Simon. Simon getting there in a hurry, getting into the backfield, and really his progression to get to Farik was quite impressive. For a big kid like that, to see that kind of speed, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, also big number, 56 in on the action as well, and a nice play from the defense, not biting on the play action. Even after seeing all those run plays, they didn't buy it. Big loss in this field position battle is heating up here if they get a stop on 3rd down.
All right, on 3rd and long, Dougherty Valley electing to go back to Larkin, and he picks up a good chunk of yardage there. You know, pretty much to give Dougherty Valley a little room to breathe here on this punt. How crucial was that, just keeping it to the draw play, picking up some yards to get out of that red zone, that danger zone when it comes to punting?
Well, it's really big, but if you look at it, he's still pretty far back there, and if they don't get a favorable bounce like they've been getting, we're going to see American come back in front of the 50-yard line and with great field position starting.
Okay, Calvin Montano back to punt for the Wildcats. Nice looking grab, or punt rather, I should say. Bounce not going his way, but it's going to be downed by Dougherty Valley's Mason Furpo, as American will take over on downs at the 45-yard line.
That was a nice punt, man. Good hang time on that.
Yeah, we've seen Mason get a couple favorable bounces prior to that punt, but that time, boy, he really showed off his leg.
Yeah, had that one got the right bounce, they could have been pushed back a good 20 more yards.
All right, 1st and 10 now for the Eagles. And Drew Lyle of the Eagles is stopped immediately in the backfield. Dougherty Valley's defensive line really holding up quite well tonight.
Yeah, that was Matt Yates getting quick penetration and leaving his opponent with really nothing at all. Nice defensive play. And anytime you can stop a first down run and make it harder on 2nd and 3rd down, it's a big win for the defense. You get that first down chunk, and all of a sudden playbook opens up and things become a lot easier for the offense. So nice defensive stop there.
All right, 2nd and 11 now for American High School, and they go back to the run. This time it is Eric Adair, and he's going to be tackled for a loss in the backfield. And was that Larkin again making the stop? I believe that was number 42, middle linebacker Andrew Larkin for Dougherty Valley. Boy, that kid's been everywhere, right?
He sure has, and it's amazing because, you know, just when you think maybe the tide is turning in this ballgame, you get this great field position about the 50-yard line, and all of a sudden 2 huge defensive plays, and we're back to square one practically.
Yeah, Austin Larkin really showcasing his skills tonight. All right, that's going to bring it about 3rd and 17. Oh, and the man wide open, got a beat on number 80 of Dougherty Valley. Greet Bangu was wide receiver for American, Anthony Wellington. Wellington had to step with the ball about 2 yards too long there from Ryan Barker, but nonetheless, pretty good toss.
Yeah, a nice play call. Obviously, he had this step, and had that been completed, we're looking at 6 points. So I like to see American going for it like that, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure one of these home run shots is going to hit.
Oh, and the snap long. It's an American punter there, and that is Jason Hong of American, their punter, falling down on the ball. And boy, you're waiting for that one big play, and there it is, right? Dougherty Valley getting a little bit of luck of the draw there as the snap goes high over the head of Jason Hong, the punter for American. So Dougherty Valley with their best field position of the day. It's going to make it 1st and 10 at about the 16-yard line here with about 8 minutes to play here in the first half.
Yeah, so they've been trading off field position. Now that mistake will give Dougherty some nice starting room here.
And that is a look at Andre Edinger with the run to the outside, picking up the 1st down. Nice little run there by Andre.
Yeah, huge run now, so they've got a 1st and goal. Playbook's pretty wide open. I think they like their running game here. Interesting to see if we can get our first score of the ball game.
And Wildcats with 1st and goal from their 5-yard line with about 8 minutes to play here in the first half. One back set. And they elect to run again. And this is a look at fullback Landray Adelkin finding some daylight in the hole and gives us the first score of the game. That's going to make it 6-0 Wildcats. Nice progression on how that hole opened up there. You see how wide open that was? And
yeah, it was a great cut to the inside. The play call was actually to the edge. And nice play to just stab his foot in the ground, turn it upfield, and get the touch.
And this is kicker Jin Min with the extra point, making it 7-0 Wildcats here with about 8 minutes left to play in the first half. So there we have it, the first score of the ball game, all leading from that that misfortune for American on that punt when the ball went over the head of their punter there, and got to hand it to Dougherty Valley. They took advantage of great field position.
They sure did, and that's what you got to do when you get a nice turnover on defense. Make it count, and they absolutely did that with some nice runs there. And Coach Casey in the pregame telling us we got to limit mistakes. Well, he saw the effect of a mistake on that series, leading to a touchdown for Dougherty. PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube and youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
He had a nice little pickup there by kick returner. That was D'Angelo Cox for American High School, and giving American some pretty good field position here. Let's see how they bounce back from giving up that first score here in this ball game. American taking over here, 1st and 10 from about the 33-yard line.
They had a nice offensive series last time. It's just a lot of false starts and penalties that cost them.
And this is, look at Eric Adair bouncing around, finding a hole, cutting it back field, and he's got some daylight to the outside. Here he goes, Adair picking up 9 yards, which initially looked like it was going to be about a 9-yard loss. Somehow he made that a positive 9 yards. Nice little run there by Adair, but we do have a flag on the play. And what I would assume is going to be a hold.
Yeah, it was a nice job to make something out of nothing there. A lot of coaches, they'll tell you don't do that because you can end up losing more sometimes. But a nice play to bounce it outside, and just again penalties stymieing their momentum here, just like their last series, and now they've got some work to do.
Yeah, going back to what Brett Casey, the head coach of American, told us before the ball game. He said, "Hey, penalties last week killed us when they lost." 9 penalties last week. So far, penalties banging them up again. Here it is, 1st and 20 now for the Eagles. Ryan Barker dropping back. He's got a man to the side. And that's a look at Sigon Giwa. Giwa, little burst of speed there on the sideline for American High School as they pick up a good chunk of yards. It's going to bring up about 2nd and 3 now for American. So really, they've only gone to the air a few times here in this ballgame, but every time it seems like quarterback Ryan Barker has got what it takes to find his receivers throughout his progressions.
Yeah, they've been pretty sharp, and they've been able to pick up good yardage on most of their passing plays. And boy, what a huge play there, because he had that long first down, and now you're way more manageable. Can open the playbook wide open, go to a run here.
And on 2nd down, it is Eric Adair cutting to the left side and picking up the first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, big first down pickup. Like I said, if you get pushed back on a holding call, defense can get a little more aggressive. It's hard. It's hard to overcome, and they did a good job to move the chains. Now what they got to do is stay disciplined because they've had some success moving the ball here, but penalties have stopped them from getting any points. And if they can stay disciplined, maybe they can tie this thing up.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. This is a look at Drew Lyell of American picking up about 2 yards for the Eagles. 6.5 minutes left in the first half as the Eagles are driving here almost to the midfield. We talk about just a beautiful environment here at Dougherty Valley High School. If anyone's been out here, you know what I'm talking about. Surrounded by the mountains here of the East Bay. Really a great little outlook. All right, well, it's going to bring up 2nd and about 8 for American High School. Barker dropping back. He's got a man to the sideline. He's got the man open to the sideline. It is bobbled and almost cut, but dropped there by in the last seconds by Sigon Giwa. Giwa did everything but catch that ball. Juggled it a couple of times. Had the beat on the sideline, but couldn't bring it in. Great ball, nonetheless, by quarterback Ryan Barker. And I'm telling you, every time they go to the air, I'm telling you, this kid Ryan Barker, he's got the touch. Remember, played last year as a sophomore, had 1,300 yards as a sophomore, 14 touchdowns. Yeah, that's experience right there. When you see one-on-one coverage on the outside, Barker aware of that and almost making a huge play. All right, it's going to bring up 3rd and 8 now for American. Barker dropping back again. He's got time in the pocket. Pocket collapses. Barker deciding to run, finding some room, picking up the first down, leaping in and out of bounds. Barker showing off the legs there, picking up the first down for American High School. And boy, Barker, not only does he have a nice little arm, boy, he's got some wheels too.
Absolutely. That was the second time we've seen him break a nice run. And also going back to the previous play with that just almost beautiful connection. What set that up was this nice little shoulder pump fake that might have gone unnoticed, but it made the DB bite, and I think they like their passing game going here.
All right, 1st and 10 now for American High School as they go back outside to Adair, but nowhere to go as big number 74 defensive end Kiefer Longson of Dougherty Valley making the huge play. And boy, you don't see that too often. A big kid like Kiefer Longson dragging down the speedy Eric Adair of American High School. Adair probably, 5'7", 160 pounds. Kiefer, big kid, probably about 6'3", and I'm going to say a nice hefty 200 plus. But boy, showing off the speed, they're making the great play, pushing it back to about 2nd and 21 now for American High School.
Yeah, he's good size and just shed the blocker so fast, able to get upfield in a hurry, and big loss. And again, they just when you think they get going, they get pushed back again.
Barker with a little screen pass out to Drew Lyell. Lyell picking up some positive yardage here. And that's the first time we have really seen American go to that nice little screen pass. And Lyell picks up about 11 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Eagles.
Yeah, I like that call on about a 2nd and 20. You get screen pass when you time it right and catch the defense off guard. It can be something to watch because you get all those blockers out there, and it's always a fun play to watch. And if it's executed properly, of course. And nice pickup. So a semi-manageable 3rd down here. And the way Barker's been throwing the ball, they're definitely going to go back to it here.
Okay, 3rd and 9 now for American. Barker drops back, finds his man. It's Eric Adair this time coming out of the backfield, and they lined up Adair on the outside there as a wide receiver, and you can see why. He's got that speed. He found a hole, and give credit again to Barker for threading the needle there.
Yeah, absolutely. Great throw, and I like it because he knows that they're pretty much going to go for it on 4th down if they get any type of yardage, similar to their last series. They don't want to punt it, and now we got a real manageable situation, and this is a big play for both squads here.
Eagles electing to go for it on 4th and 2. Big play for American High School as they elect to go to the run, and that is a look at Drew Lyell. Lyell, we're going to have to see where the spot is, but Lyell doing everything he could, keeping those wheels turning, and boy, this is going to be close.
It was awfully close.
And the refs not electing to bring out the sticks and say it's short. So American, despite the effort, is going to turn the ball over on downs as a huge stop for Dougherty Valley High School. Again, coming up big on the defensive side.
Yeah, and it was a really conservative play call, just going to the fullback dive pretty much. And the way Barker was running the ball, I think a bootleg kind of misdirection would have been good there, but hey, I'm up here. I'm not down on the field, coach, and I probably don't know what would have been right. They were awfully close to the 1st down, so nice stop by the defense, absolutely, and crucial because they seem to be tightening up every time they get down towards the red zone, able to stop American in their tracks.
Okay, now 1st and 10 on the 32 for Dougherty Valley. Dougherty electing to run up the gut again. This time it's a look at, I didn't catch the number there of the Wildcats player, but I believe it is, that was Lanray Adelkin, I believe, with no gain.
Well, if you're American, you really want to stop them here and get another chance to get a score going into the half, and they can do it if they stop them here and a nice 1st down defensive play for no yardage, And now you might see they have to go to the pass. So if they break up the pass, clock stops again. So what you really want to do if you're American is make some nice defensive plays, get the ball back, and see if you can get something up on the board before half.
Okay, 2nd and 10 now for the Wildcats. And that's a look at Cody Nizak, and he's going to pick up the first down with a nice little carry as he bounces off the tackle. Nice run there by Cody, picking up the first down with about 2.5 minutes left to play in the first half. And boy, the Wildcats needed that little gain.
They sure did. Not only did they, get the opportunity to maybe, obviously keep their drive alive and score again, but yeah, you want to carry this possession out through to the end of the half, not give American the opportunity to come back and answer with some points. So, really nice run.
And we've got a timeout, our second timeout of the half here.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championships events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
All right, we got about 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Wildcats have 7-0, driving here before the half. Now, how crucial is it if they score again here, and what would that do to the momentum for the Wildcats?
Well, it's really huge, and huge for this young team to go in with some momentum into the second half, especially for a young team. It's nice to have that cushion, obviously, for any team, young or experienced. But, yeah, nice solid first half here from Dougherty.
That's the Wildcats. Andre Ettinger picking up yards down the sideline. A big gain there for the Wildcats as they pick up about 35 yards on the simple little play across the middle. But Ettinger having the sense to cut that ball upfield and get to the sideline and pick up the first down. Big play there for the Wildcats with 2:15 left to play here in the first half.
Yeah, nice quick feet from Andre. And now with 2 minutes left, you can run the ball a couple times. But you don't want to get too conservative. You probably want to go in for 6.
And Dougherty Valley quarterback Umar Farik calling the timeout. That is the second timeout used by Dougherty Valley.
Well, the way their defense has been playing and against American, I guess you don't really need to go too conservative and run out the clock. I think you'd rather just go to what's going to get you in the end zone best here, given that your defense has been able to hold up American, although ideally you do make this the last possession of the half.
It's funny, this team, the Dougherty Valley Wildcats come into the game 0-2. Talking to head coach Nick Tiza before the ball game, usually coaches, they like to talk to us before game time, right? Head coach Tiza, he was a little hesitant. He was like, hey, I got a job to do here. We're 0-2. We got to win. And you could see his momentum really paying off. I don't think we mentioned that this is Tiza's first season as head coach here at Dougherty Valley, looking to pick up his first win ever. You think he'll talk to us after that if we're here for his first win?
Yeah, if he can get any time, he's going to be excited. And I've seen him fired up a couple times on the sidelines. His team's playing well, and really been impressed with the defensive line play of Dougherty.
All right, 1st and 10 now for Dougherty Valley. And that is a handoff to Austin Larkin, the nephew of Barry Larkin. But with the way he is playing, I'm sure he doesn't want to be in the shadows of Barry Larkin for too much longer. And you see the athletic ability there from Austin. He's definitely got it.
Great first down chunk, and now you're in total control of the clock. Just keep picking up yardage. You move the chains, and then they punch it in for 6.
2nd and 4 now. Dougherty Valley cutting it back outside, and that is a look at running back Landray Adelkin. And Adelkin's not a name we've talked about a lot tonight, but the times we have, boy, he's picking up yardage left and right. Then a nice little 7-yard gain there for the first down, and that's going to be 1st and goal now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, well,
1st and goal, yeah.
You talk about a running back by committee. We've seen a lot of different ball carriers.
And this is the end around to number 31. That is a look at Cody Nizak getting to the outside and open daylight for Nizak as he scores the easy 6 points there for the Wildcats, making it 13-0 with 1:23 seconds left to play in the first half. Great play call there by the Wildcats. So really this Dougherty Valley squad has a couple of weapons there on offense when it comes to running the ball. How many players did we see carry the ball there with Nizak taking it in for the score?
Yeah, I mean, I lost track. I mean, at least three. And what that does is, first of all, every back you bring in is fresh. And it does something else. When you're a tailback who is splitting that many carries, when you get the call, it makes you that much hungrier to do something good. And it's extra motivation to get out there and score, pick up the first down, what have you. And we're seeing the effect of that with the running game kind of breaking through, if you will, and finally getting some success after getting stopped early in this ball game.
And that's a look at the Wildcats place kicker Min Yen putting it through the uprights, making it 14-0 now. Wildcats with a lead with 1:23 to play. So here's a team that comes into the game 0-2 to start the season. Really, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the prep game talk was all about, but boy, head coach Nick Tiza got his team ready to play tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They're playing with a lot of energy. And American has been playing well. It's mostly been the penalties that's stopping them from getting on the board. Now they've got 1:23 left, and they've got to be anxious to try to put something into the end zone on this series. It would be huge going into the half if they were able to do so.
And that is a look at Americans' Drew Lowell with the kickoff return. And that was kind of a bizarre play because one of the players for American actually called for a fair catch on that little kickoff, and it bounced off his hands, and Drew Lowell with a sense to take it upfield and actually gave Americans some nice field position here with 1:13 left in the first half.
Yeah, that could have turned out a lot worse, and they've got good field position with plenty of time here, and boy, with the way Barker's been throwing it, they've got the opportunity to score now. They've got to go for it. 1st
and 10 out from the 45. Barker drops back, has some time. Someone's catching up with him. Barker, nowhere to throw, deciding to run with his feet, and he picks up a nice chunk of yardage there, as it looks like he might have picked up the first down. Barker, again, showcasing those legs.
And number 61, Kevin Pelham, put quite a hit on Matt Yates.
Okay, I'm glad you saw that too.
Freeing him up, and that was heavy.
You mentioned Kevin Pelham, and yeah, he had some. It's one of those plays in football where he had the wide open block, and Dougherty Valley's player just never saw him coming.
But it was a nice clean hit. Didn't go down with the crown of the helmet, and a good play freeing up his quarterback to get those yards. I don't know if they called him out of bounds or not. It would have been important for him to get out of bounds on that play.
I don't believe they did, because it looks like American is now taking the timeout. So there is 53 seconds left in the first half. Wildcats up 14-0 over American High School here in San Ramon, California, at Dougherty Valley High School.
It was a great run, but when the clock is that low, you almost have to do it. Sacrifice a couple of yards. You got to get out of bounds.
All right, that's going to bring up 2nd and 2 now for American High School. Barker dropping back, got a man across the middle, and that is Sigan Giwa again with the reception. Giwa getting open across field like that, and Barker, again, going back to Barker's vision, finds his man going through his progressions. I believe that was probably his 2nd or 3rd option, and picks up the first down. All right, 46 seconds left. American on the 26-yard line. Barker drops back. Scrambles, nowhere to go, taken down, and that is a look at Dougherty Valley's defense and big number 55. That is Matt Yates with the tackle. Yates really causing havoc and wreaking havoc there for the defensive unit for Dougherty Valley, as Barker elects to spike the ball to stop the clock, and that's going to bring up 3rd and man long. Boy, talk about a big play there.
Yeah, it's the same story. Every time you feel like American is about to break into that red zone and get close, whether it's a penalty or just a huge defensive play like that sack we just saw, the defense for Dougherty tightening up. but let's not count out. American's got the ability to throw the ball downfield. They've been doing it well, and they've got to just go wide open playbook here. Got to get some positive yardage.
Okay, 3rd and 20 now for American as it's Barker dropping back. He's got some time. He's got a man down the sideline. That's a look. Overthrown by Barker. Had a man down the sideline, but just couldn't connect. That's going to bring up 4th and 20 with 17 seconds left in the first half. At this point of the ballgame, I would assume you got to go for it on 4th and even 20.
Absolutely. I like the shot there. He goes to the sideline, so you can get the stoppage of the clock if that's completed. But just nice defensive play there from number 12. Andre Ediger.
All right, that's going to bring up 4th and 20 for American with 17 seconds left in the first half.
Well, this would be huge if they get in here.
And we've got a flag on the play. False start by the Eagles. That's going to drop him back another 5 yards, making it 4th and 25. At this point, do you decide to run a draw, or do you toss it into the end zone?
I think you go for it. I think you go for it down 14, and barring maybe a quarterback fumble, you're okay. An interception is, it's not likely to get a pick 6 here. I think you got to take a shot if you can.
Okay, 4th and 25 now for American in the shotgun set, and that is a look at Barker dropping back. He's got time. He's got a man across the field. Off the fingertips of wide receiver D'Angelo Cox. Nonetheless, I still think they would have been short on the first down. D'Angelo really didn't look like he had much room to run, even if he had made that reception. So American turns the ball over on downs, and Dougherty Valley takes over with 17 seconds left in the first half, up 14-0. So again, the defense coming up big for Dougherty Valley.
Absolutely, and I want to go back to my last call. I kind of forgot it was 4th down. So if you don't get the play, you turn it over on downs, but I think you still do it. You still go for it with 17 seconds. That's not a lot of time. So I think the right call to go for it on 4th down. That last series.
Okay, 14 seconds left here in the first half. Dougherty Valley. And Dougherty Valley quarterback Umar Farik electing to kneel it as Dougherty Valley walks into the half with the end of the first half with the Wildcats of Dougherty Valley leading the American Eagles by a score of 14-0. We'll be back in a few moments with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
.316 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from
He
Dion.
took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just
Holy cow!
can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball.
12 seconds to go. Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons wins. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send
A man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take. And there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back in one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stags.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2-0.
This is time to run an offensive set that you've done all through the season in practice.
Yeah. And you also, you get it to your hottest player right now, just like they're getting into Eichhorst right here. He's going to try to create some space, find somebody on the backside that's open.
Eichhorst flush out to the right. Oh, breaks free of a player. Eichhorst on his own, shoots and scores, bounces a shot home. Coos can't handle the shot. Eichhorst takes off the shirt and the helmet. And how about that? Alex called it. Eichhorst, after sustaining the injury in the third quarter of play, has scored the game winner with 22 seconds gone in the overtime period. Dogpile on the field. Marin Academy take it. A fantastic finish to this game. And, well, I hope his other ankle isn't hurting after this.
Hancock to his immediate left. Two receivers far side, one near side. Hancock on a counter right side. He's inside the 10. He bounces off a tackler at the 10. The 5. Touchdown, Helix. And behind Hancock, the field is littered with white jerseys on the turf.
Wow. Hancock not to be outdone by his fellow playmakers on offense. Put on a show on that short 12-yard touchdown run. Looked like he was down after 3 yards, just threw a defender on the ground.
As sophomore Chris Carter sits under center. In their tight wing formation, Lycos in motion. Second back through is Freeman. Freeman just knocking people over. Look at him run. Breaks through. 4 tackles. And now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And Freeman's going to go the distance. Touchdown Imperial on the first play of the second half. 2nd and 6 for Imperial from their own 47. They're going to give it to Freeman again off the left side. And Freeman gets by one wave and down across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Look at him run down to the 20-yard line. One man to beat. Gets by him. Touchdown, Freeman. How did he do that? Holy cow. 64-yard touchdown run. His 5th of the game. Royce Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see the top rushing. And as I look over to our partners at KXO Radio, the top rusher in the San Diego section for the next 2 years.
That's just amazing. That is just amazing. They hit him in the backfield. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. They hit him a couple yards downfield. They hit him again near the goal line.
Keep those Lowell fans quiet over there.
Lum sets it up for Pang. Long, it's out. Low, a magnificent 7 titles in the San Francisco section in dramatic style as they pull out a fantastic victory over a spirited Galileo Lions team. They win the 4th game, 31-29. and they take the 2012 Academic Athletic Association San Francisco section title.
Officials say no 5-second count can be started. Nobody was close enough defensively. Lyle's going to swing left side, Robinson. Here is a backdoor lob for Grant. They've been wanting that all game. And they got it, 50-42. They lulled you to sleep, and then they hit Grant on the back door.
They trail by 2. McMorrow's kick is on the way, and it is good. St. Augustine has their first lead of the game, 21-20, with 25 seconds to play. The senior McMorrow with a huge kick. Not the longest of his career, but the biggest of his career. St. Augustine leads it 21 to
already lining up. They won't even have to run that one more play. They just acquiesce.
Why bother?
So there you have it. Your 5-time defending Division III champions, the Cathedral Catholic Dons, running up, over, and through Olympian 41-0 here from Qualcomm Stadium.
Patriots down 21-17. Great ball game here. Dillon taking it, looking right, throwing it up top to Gaines. It will be caught by Gaines. Oh my goodness. It looked like the defender had it, but Gaines stole it away from him. Jason Gaines, are you kidding me, my friend? Oh boy. It looked like for sure we had an interception by the Tories, but as they both were going to the ground, Jason Gaines just wrestled it away from him. Shane Dillon to Jason Gaines on an 11-yard play.
Fanchen in the game, now out, replaced by Hayashi, the libero for defense. Wenzel serve, championship point, ball up in the air. Hayashi's going to bring it back. Richards, deep one, over and 3. Free opportunity, look for Wallace, no, they go Becker. Hayashi, then tap over and 2 by Hollingsworth. Now look for Wallace for the match.
Kathleen Wallace, no better way for the Bulls to finish it than giving it to their senior leader.
25-12, 25-15, and with 8 straight points to close out their 3rd straight D5 championship on a kill by Kathleen Wallace, 25-21 in Game 3. Branson has won the D5 title.
In the backfield, it's Hernandez and Northcutt. Set to throw is Thomas, has time, goes for the home run. It's intercepted in the end zone. Seemed like they tried to go to Martin, and Martin slipped. Stockton, Hilmar, and Escalon. That's going to do it, folks. Victory formation, take a kneel. The clock comes out. The clock will tick down. The players jumping up at midfield. I think I see a Gatorade. Did we have a Gatorade shower?
We most certainly did. Casey Taylor getting the shower there. Very much deserved.
Down to 12.
Great tackle there by Ronald Williams there to make the stop for Helix.
And the Helix fans are starting to celebrate here. This is going to be the final play. 5 seconds. Pow will hand it off. And they're going to get in the end zone. Touchdown. That's Keegan who gets in, but that's going to be the end of the ball game. 44-6 will be the score. So Oceanside scores on the final play of the ball game.
And gets a consolation prize just to make this is kind of say that, hey, we didn't get shut out.
So 44-6 is your score. And Helix is celebrating on the sideline. Oceanside streak of 7 straight championship games has been ended.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. Clock rolling, 3rd down and 15 for the Patriots. Dillon, he's got time, steps up. He's going to chuck it deep. He's got a man open. Seth Collins with a diving catch. He hauls it in at the 25. Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you right there. Dillon goes to show why he is a Division I prospect as he's able to step up, elude the pressure, see Collins down the field, and make the connection as I'll tell you.
Welcome back. You're watching PlayOnSports.com's presentation of Friday Night Football live from San Ramon, California. I am Eric Hodge, joined with Willie McFarland. The Dougherty Valley Wildcats lead the American Eagles 14-0 as we get ready to start the second half of action. And for an 0-2 team coming into this ball game, you would never know it watching this game, as Dougherty Valley has really dominated on both sides of the ball. What do you say, Willie?
Well, they absolutely have. They've been dominating, and they've come out with a lot of energy, high intensity. Coaches high intensity, rubbing off on the players, and great running game to start off and score those points. But I've really been impressed with the defensive line, getting quick penetration and making it really tough for American and Barker to get any kind of offensive rhythm going.
And, the great storyline here for Dougherty Valley is the fact that we have a first-year head coach in Nick Teza trying to pick up his first ever victory as a head coach at the high school level. You think he goes in that half saying, hey, guys, win one for the Gipper?
Well, it's funny. You realize he told us he's got a young team here, a lot of sophomores starting, and sometimes with inexperience, you can see a let-off, in the second half or something like that. They get a little complacent, what have you, and what he's going to try to do is make sure to let his players know that they have a whole nother half to go here. Don't get too complacent, don't get too comfortable, because American is going to come out and they're going to correct a lot of mistakes that they made in the first half. And so this young team, you want them to come out with that same fire, but don't get too overconfident, because they still got a whole nother half to go, and they've got to stay within themselves and keep playing the way they played the first half. But often easier said than done with a youthful team.
Yeah, that's a great point, Willie. You mentioned the sophomore movement here for Dougherty Valley. They have 8 sophomores suited up for this game, and boy, they are getting a quick life lesson here, aren't they? He also mentioned that he only has 8 seniors on his ball club, 3 of them out with injury. So yeah, big time first half for Dougherty Valley. As for the American Eagles, boy, talking to head coach Brett Casey before the ball game, he said the one thing we can't do against Dougherty Valley is let them play their type of football and really not shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties. But what's been hurting them? Penalties and turnovers.
Yeah, one costly turnover came on a bad punt snap, and then they had a nice offensive series going in penalties, maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5 false starts in one offensive series. Really stifled their rhythm, trying to get into that end zone. They missed a couple opportunities to strike in that first half, and they should come out here and play a little cleaner. Hopefully they'll have settled into the game and cut down on those mistakes, able to play a better half, because they're far from out of this thing. They're only down 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, and they can get back in quick, especially the way they have actually been moving the ball well and throwing well. It's just been, tough for them down in the red zone area, and then mistakes like penalties and what have you. So don't count them out, because they're right in this thing and can turn it around at any moment. They just got to cut down on those mistakes, like Coach said.
Yeah, and going back to American, if you look back their last 6 quarters of play, keep in mind they lost week 2 to Granada, 28-0. It's 6 quarters without a score on the scoreboard there. What does that do for your mentality right now if you're on that American Eagle bench?
It must feel great for them, and I think the key has been this running back by committee situation. When they're calling these running plays, guys are excited, and they're making it count when they get the ball. And we saw that towards the end of the first half, where it started off as kind of a defensive battle, but finally that running back by committee really wearing down the defense, able to open up some creases at the end of that second half. We're going to see a ton more of that in this second half, I can tell you that.
A player we mentioned a lot for American was quarterback Ryan Barker. I am truly impressed with what I've seen from the kid. He's only a junior. Keep in mind he played all last year as a sophomore. It's not an easy job to be a quarterback at any level, especially as a junior. But, boy, he is handling it with ease, and despite all the penalties and so forth, he is one bright spot for this team.
Yeah, he's played great. He's getting a lot of pressure from Dougherty's defensive line, and he's hanging in there. And he's made some real nice throws and made some real nice runs to extend their offensive drives. So I think what they want to do is make some adjustments to protect him a little bit better in the second half because he's getting a little bit hurried. He's getting the ball out quick, to his credit, but he needs a half second more to hit the big play. His receivers have been able to get open as well, so that's an important point. I think down to 2 touchdowns, what they need to do is go back to the passing game and keep taking shots at it because it did work in the first half. They were unable to punch it through, but give Barker a little more protection, let the receivers have another half second to get open, and I think we can see a tighter ball game here.
Okay, really quick, we're about to start the second half here in San Ramon at Dougherty Valley High School. Let's talk a little bit about Dougherty Valley's defense and one particular player. Matt Yates is his name we've been calling out a lot, and boy, that boy likes to wreak havoc there in the backfield. He's getting to the backfield, which seems like to be every single play. You impressed with this Matt Yates kid?
Yeah, absolutely. If he's not making a move and shedding the blocker, he's pushing the blocker back into the pocket, and he's really making it tough for American's offense to get rolling. And no doubt about it, we're going to see more of him in the second half.
Okay, here we go. About 13 seconds away from the start of the second half here in San Ramon, California at Dougherty Valley High School. Conditions picture perfect. These are the conditions you write about, right? If you're a screenplay writer in Hollywood. I mean, probably about 68 degrees on a beautiful Friday night here in San Ramon as the second half is about to get started here as Dougherty Valley has 2 back to receive. And if you're Dougherty Valley up 14-0, how big is it that you are starting the second half on the offensive side here?
It's really important because if you can't score here, you really put American in a hole, just by the score, but also mentally. A score would really be bad for American here. So important for their defense to come out, make some plays, get the ball back, and get this thing tighter.
And with that said, the start of the second half is off as Mason Furpo of Dougherty Valley. He picks up the ball and takes it down to the 30-yard line. So Dougherty Valley looking to build on the momentum they picked up there in the first half, up 14-0 here to start the second half. Still looking for that first win of the season.
And I know it's early in the second half. We just saw the kickoff, but I could sense that American had gotten shook up by their coach a little bit. They came out, they were just booking it down the field on that kickoff, and they got fired up from that tackle. And we'll see if they can maintain that energy through this defensive series. It's going to be important for them.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, American hasn't scored a point in 6 quarters, so I bet they are chomping at the bit to get going here. All right, Dougherty Valley with the run to start the second half here, and that is a look at Austin Larkin picking up a couple of yards there, making it 6 and 8 for Dougherty Valley. And Larkin, again, we go back to the fact that his uncle was newly acquired, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Barry Larkin, athletic genes, yes, I'm sure, and he is being looked at Division I and Division II schools for his football abilities. Okay, 2nd and 8 now for Dougherty Valley. Drop back, play action pass. Farik tackled in the backfield there by a linebacker, American's linebacker, and that's a look at Arturo Barsuto making the nice tackle and picking up the sack there, dropping it back to 2nd and about 18, 3rd and 18 rather. Big play there on the defensive side for American. You think they're a little fired up coming out of the half?
Absolutely. I think they're fired up, and they needed that on this first defensive series. And Arturo was not fooled by the play action, which is kind of surprising the way they were able to run the ball was Dougherty at the end of the first half. But so far we've actually seen both teams not biting on the play action, which you always like to see, as a coach. But great play just to sniff that thing out and tackle for a loss.
Okay, 3rd and 20 now for Dougherty Valley. And that's a look at Lonray Adelican picking up about 5 yards in the play. That's going to make it 4th and long for Dougherty Valley as they elect to punt here. So great stop and great start on the defensive side for American High School here.
And on the flip side, for Dougherty, looking for that first win, you didn't want to come out of the half that way, and you're going to give some good field position here to American, but defense have been playing well, so you just hope that your defensive play holds up and you get another stop.
And here's a look at D'Angelo Cox for American High School. Dropped in there by number 12 of Dougherty Valley, and that's a look at Andre Ettinger. And that's a name we've been talking a lot about today. It seems like Ettinger does a little bit of both. I know he plays both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Now he's playing special teams, and now he's making big stops on the special teams unit.
Yeah, that was a fantastic open field tackle. It's basically saved what could have been a huge return and even better field position than they already have.
Yeah, nonetheless, still great field position for American High School as they try to get on the board for the first time in 6 quarters here, dating back to the last 2 games. And here's a look at Eric Adair cutting to the outside. He's got a little room to the sideline, and he's going to bust out a nice little 13-yard gain, bumping in a little stiff arm for good measure for another couple of yards. And you always love to see that from your tailback, fighting for those extra yards, doing whatever he has to do, even if that's a stiff arm to your face.
You absolutely do, and I also like to see the offensive line getting out there, getting hungry, making some really key blocks on that run.
All right, that's going to give American the first down, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 21-yard line. American making a push here. And that is a look at Drew Lyle wide open across the gut, and no one there. And he's wide open to the daylight for the touchdown. And that gives American their first points in 6 quarters. Whew, the monkey is off their back.
It absolutely is. And what strikes me is differently about that offensive series was the offensive line really getting off the ball quick and creating seams for the running back. But not to mention a fantastic run, kind of going up the original play call, but nicely bouncing it left and able to get free for the touchdown.
Yeah, Lyle really going to thank his offensive line tomorrow. Maybe cook him some breakfast, a little bacon and eggs.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'd like to get in on that too.
And this is look at place kicker Alex Merrill, and gets it through the uprights, and that's going to make it 14-7 now as American scores their first points of the ball game here early in the second half. And boy, we talked about going into the half down 14-0. How big and how crucial is that American and Brett Casey's team came out and said, you know what, Dougherty Valley, we're not going away that easy.
Yeah, it's basically, picture perfect opening for them in the second half. They got the nice defensive stop with some great plays, and then starting with good field position, limiting the mistakes. In fact, no mistakes on that drive, and scoring 7. Couldn't have asked for a better start to the second half, and the key factor there was that high energy coming out. I noticed it from the kickoff. They came out, they just had a little more kick in their step, I guess, a little more pop, and if they can maintain that, this is going to be a close ball game.
And keep in mind, American High School lost 17 players from last year's team, including MVL first-team tailback Deshane Hines, who rushed for 1,465 yards, and not to mention 14 touchdowns back in 2011. So to see the running game do as well as it did there, that's got to give any head coach a huge smile, and a big touchdown score there from Drew Lyle. All right, 9 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. And that is Calvin Montano with the return for Dougherty Valley, taking it back to the 30-yard line. I think the one thing I love about high school football, Willie, is the fact that these kids will always remember these moments. These kids will play any position that they're asked, right? No prima donnas out there. Take, for instance, Calvin Montano, who just made the return there. He's also the punter. But hey, who says that punters can't take a hit? Making the return there, bringing the ball back to the 30-yard line, giving Dougherty Valley the 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you can tell these kids are having fun right now, and it's a good game, and it's been fun to watch too.
And that's a look at Dougherty Valley's Landray Adelkeen picking up the nice gain of about 10 yards there, getting through that hole. And boy, that's some vision there from Landray to see that hole open up like it did, because there wasn't much room to run there, but somehow Landray managed to keep the wheels turning and picked up the first down for Dougherty Valley.
It was a good run, and also it was a nice run to hang on to the ball, because number 2, Eric Adair put his helmet right on the ball. I could have sworn we were going to see a fumble there. It was just a textbook tackle, but excellent play to hang on to that one.
All right, 1st and 10 now from the 40, and they go back to Landray. Landray bruising his way in for the 7-yard gain, but we have a flag on the play.
Well, just like the end of the first half, they seem to be getting something going here with the running game.
And we've got a player down on the field for Dougherty Valley. That's a look at Landray Adelkin, who just picked up those 7 yards. And it looks like I'm no doctor here, but I'd say cramps. Willie, are you?
I'm definitely not a doctor either, but I would. It doesn't look to be too serious in that he's in pain, but usually with the cramp you see a lot of squirming. I guess it's super painful, like getting, I don't know, kicked or something. So I can't tell.
Sure, a lot.
Cannot tell, but hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, a lot of discomfort so when it comes to cramping up on the football field. With that said, Dougherty Valley gives up that first touchdown to American here to start the second half. I don't want to say it's there's still plenty of time in this ball game nonetheless. What's it mean for a good offensive possession here for Dougherty Valley?
Well, it's important. You got a young team, and what happens when you're young is any type of setback can really affect your mindset, and then you can get a dip in the energy level or what have you. And what you want to do is, it's not crucial to score, obviously. I mean, anytime you're playing, you want to score every offensive series. However, what you do want to do is just get some of that rhythm back, get some of that flow going, and make sure at the very least you don't give any type of excellent field position to America. Get a couple yards, move the chains a couple of times at the very least, and for a young team that's going to be huge because if they have a bad one or maybe get a turnover or something like that, it can be really bad for the momentum and for them, I should say. Good for American, but they need to keep their energy level up, and they need to play well to do that.
And the injured player, Landray Adelkin, getting off on his own there. Jumping on one foot, but it looks like he's going to be okay. It's good to see. All right, back to action now. It's going to bring up a 2nd and long. We're saying 2nd and 22 for Dougherty Valley with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Or rather, 1st and 22, excuse me. 1st and 22 now for the Wildcats.
I think a good opportunity for a screen.
And there you have it. A little shot to the outline there, and that's a pass to wide out. Aaron Doe picking up the reception and picking up about 7 yards. Nice pass there from quarterback Umar Farouk.
When American has the opportunity to get aggressive on defense, they do so, and that time bringing a blitz there, and that's the time when you want to call that screenplay, and especially on these kind of extra yardage situations. I would not be surprised if we see one if they have that in the playbook.
Okay, 2nd and 15 now for Dougherty Valley, and we've got a little reverse to a wide out Andre Ediger, and we've got a fumble on the play. What looks to be American jumping on the ball first. No official word yet. And Ediger staying on the ground, hit really hard. Yeah, Ediger took a tough hit there as he tried to pick up some extra yards.
Really hate seeing these injuries to an already injury-riddled team as it is, and these are tough breaks here for Dougherty. Hopefully these guys can get back into the game, but this is not a good sign.
Yeah, we talked about earlier how Dougherty Valley has only 8 seniors on this team. Ediger, one of those seniors, and out of those 8 seniors, already 3 are out with injury. So you hate to see Ediger, one of those senior leaders, go down like he did.
Sure do, especially a team like this, hungry for their first win, played an excellent first half. Really hate to see these injuries.
And you got to give credit to Ediger. He's really made some big plays tonight for Dougherty Valley, and it seems like they have a handful of talented skill players there on the offensive side for Dougherty Valley. You know, we've seen them kind of mix it up and go to the run game. And whenever they do throw that little screen, it looks like to be picking up positive yardage. And the injured player is Andre Ediger for Dougherty Valley.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Thank you, Willie. Editor's still on the field, but looks like he's about to get up, and he is probably cramping up also, getting up on his own will and jogging off the field. You'd like to see that. Editor having a great game, so looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think definitely cramps, though. That's good news, actually. The worst case scenario being like an ankle or something like that.
So American picks up the ball on the fumble, and it takes over here. And that's a reverse play out to Eric Adair. Adair out to the outside, stumbling back across the field, refusing to go down. 6 blue jerseys around him to bring down Adair, but we do have a flag on the play.
I think they're going to get, I think it was number 8 on a block in the back. But I don't know. That it was tough. It was a tough call because it wasn't like he put a big hit on him or anything, but they're really tight with those block in the back calls nowadays. Oh, it was a holding, so it wasn't that. But anyways, they are tight on those calls nowadays, let me tell you.
So going back to our pregame talk with American head coach Brett Casey, emphasized no penalties, team. And boy, we have seen at least 7 penalties. That's not the official count, but that's the count in my head right now. 7 penalties around for American High School. And Brett Casey, you know, is probably grinding his teeth about that. That's going to bring up a first and a long, about 21 now for American. And that is a look at Drew Lyle finding some daylight across the middle, picking up 11 yards. Nice little pickup there from Lyle, and we've seen Lyle a couple times go up the gut there, and he seems like he is in his comfort zone when he runs behind his big blockers.
Yeah, they seem to be getting some rhythm going in their running game at the start of this half, and you know, back to the penalties. That's 2 huge runs called back on a penalty, and we've seen what they're able to do when they clean up the mistakes, resulted in a touchdown.
All right, on 2nd and 10, back to Lyle. Lyle still going behind his big offensive line, picking up about 6 yards. That's going to make it about 3rd and 5 now for American as they are driving here, down 14-7 with 7 minutes and 46 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. American coming out of the half, you know, with a different mindset, it seems like, really being aggressive on the offensive side and really sticking with what's working, and that's Lyle through the gut. 3rd and 6 now for American High School, and this is a look at Eric Adair, this time using his blockers again and close to the first down for Adair. So American sticking with what is working right now.
And after a 1st and 22, you got to be happy with the 4th down and 1 right here.
And that's going to bring up a big 4th and 1 for American High School as Dougherty Valley tries to slow them down.
This is a moment where you really don't want to see a mistake from American.
2 backs to the backfield for American High School, and then the handoff is to the fullback, and that is a look at American's fullback, and I believe that is number 33, Arturo Barsuto. Barsuto, that big back who seems to get the ball whenever they need to pick up a yard, and looks like he picked up that yard and gives American the first down. Big first down play there for American.
Great second effort because there really wasn't much of a hole for him. And he hit it and just kind of kept moving his feet. He got some help from some of his teammates too, pushing him along, but definitely a big pickup after a 1st and 22.
All right, that gives the Eagles a first down here on the 25-yard line, and that is a look at Eric Adair cutting it to the outside. Boy, that kid is crafty when he has a rock in his hand. Picking up another 6 yards. That's going to make it about 2nd and 5.
And I believe I just saw number 32. 32 for American.
That is
Drew
Drew
Lyle
Lyle.
put a nice hit on the linebacker and really opened up a big seam there. Good blocks, solid blocking from American this half.
Okay, that's going to bring up 2nd and 4 from the 18-yard line. 5 minutes and 57 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Back to the running game. Back to Drew Lyle. Lyle bouncing across the middle, finding a little space and picking up the first down for American. And what can you say about Drew Lyle? He's one of those blue-collar players who says, hey, you need a yard, coach? I'll get you a yard, and then I'll fix your car. I mean, this kid is one of those kids that any coach likes to have on their team, willing to get dirty, willing to put in the hard work, and it's really paying off for him. All right, 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line now for American High School. Ryan Barker with the handoff, and guess who? Drew Lyle again, this time stumbling down to the 2-yard line. Lyle, it's been the Lyle half so far for American High School. Remember, scored that first touchdown in the third quarter, giving American their first score. So now it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 3-yard line. Your thoughts on Lyle? I mean, this kid is a bruiser, right?
Yeah, he's making some fantastic runs. But what's really standing out to me is in the first half, where Dougherty's defensive line was getting the step, it's now the offensive line getting the step on Dougherty, and we're seeing it pay off with strong runs from Lyle. But yeah, no question, he's got a nice blue collar attitude, and when it comes to running the ball, and I've seen a hurdle, just some good solid runs. But the big thing for me is just the battle up front is now shifting to Americans' favor offensively. Their guys are getting off the ball quick and making some big blocks.
And the penalty on the play is encroachment on the defensive side by Dougherty Valley, so that gives American a couple extra spaces there to work with. So that's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 2-yard line now for American. 2-back set. This is a quarterback keeper, and that's a look at Ryan Barker taking it in for himself. Well, it looks to be pretty close to a touchdown. I believe he crossed the line, but no official call yet. Boy, I didn't see that coming. I thought for sure they'd go back to Lyle. And the call is a touchdown by Barker, giving American another score here in the third quarter, making it 14-13, and Barker getting the job done.
Yeah, I'm also a little surprised that they went away from Lyle, but I think a good smart play call to sneak it in there like that.
And that is place kicker Alex Mayoral of American High School kicking it through the uprights. And we've got a tied ball game, 14-14, with 4 minutes and 54 seconds in the third quarter. Go back to that halftime speech from American head coach Brett Casey. Boy, he must have really got that team fired up, because that offensive unit looks like a completely different team here in the second half.
Yeah, they sure do. Whereas before it was, all Dougherty's defensive line. Now it's all offensive line, and we know the value of winning that battle up front at any level. It's really huge, and definitely getting his kids in much more fired up for the second half, which they needed to get back into this ball game.
On the Dougherty Valley side of things, you mentioned that this team can't get too complacent, with the 14-0 score. Is that what we're seeing? Did this team get too complacent, or are they just getting beat up front by that thick offensive line of American High School?
Well, it could be a little of that, but it also could be fatigue, could be factoring in. And I do think they came out a little bit flat offensively, but they have a chance to correct it right here, and that's going to really be the interesting thing with these young teams. Can they bounce back? Can they answer on this offensive series?
And that is Landray Adelkin, and with the return for Dougherty Valley, taking it to the 40-yard line. So Dougherty Valley with some nice little field position. Let's see how this offensive unit reacts now after American has scored 2 straight touchdowns on 2 straight possessions.
Yeah, it's important they come out with high energy, get off the ball quick, get out there and play physically, because that's what got them the lead in the first half.
Okay, 4 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the third quarter in San Ramon, California at Dougherty Valley High School. 1st and 10, and Dougherty Valley back to the run, and that is Landray Adelkin again. Pick it up a couple of yards. That's going to make it about 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats. really haven't seen too much of the air game for Dougherty Valley. When do they start switching things up here and letting a quarterback, Umar Farik, kind of showcase his game?
Well, we saw a couple play action passes, and I think we were all kind of expecting that would be effective as they've ran the ball. But
speaking of which, Farik up top, looking at the ball, had a receiver, but throws to the wrong shoulder, and boy, wideouts. Aaron Doe didn't see the ball up in the air, but he had his cornerback beat. Had he flipped the other way around, I mean, granted, that is a very difficult play. Doe had some room to run.
Yeah, he sure did, but he actually walked off the field, and can't be another cramp. That's just unfortunate.
We see Doe on the sideline lying down right now, getting that stretch for the cramp. So Dougherty Valley struck here with a little bad luck in the cramp category here.
This is a big third down. If they can move the chains here, it'll do so much for their confidence offensively. More importantly, it'll give their defense a longer breather.
Farik with the pass. His intended receiver was number 82, wide receiver. We don't have a name for number 82 for Dougherty Valley. But Farik had him, but just a little overthrown there from the junior quarterback.
Yeah, nice pressure, flushed him out of the pocket, and like I was saying, it was a crucial play because your defense has been getting worn out, and they really needed a longer rest. So momentum certainly in the favor of American going into this, in this second half here.
And the punt's by Dougherty Valley's Calvin Montano, drops down to the 40-yard line. So American, hard to say this after down 14-0 at the half, with the chance to take their first lead of the ball game with about 4 minutes left to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you need to get back to the defensive intensity that they had the first half, and I'd like to see the defensive line get back to just playing with that fire and making plays up the field.
Okay, 1st and 10 now for American High School from the 40-yard line, and they'd elect to go to the run again. Ooh, stopping across the middle is a big fullback, and I believe that is that Drew Lyell again?
I'm not sure who they went to, but Justin Fung, number 65, made a nice tackle, nice wrap up there to bring him down without too much damage done on first down.
Okay, that's going to bring up 2nd and 6 now for American High School. Going back to what's been working, Eric Adair across the middle, refusing to go down, still on his feet, and he picks up the first down of a nice little gain of about 9 yards. And Eric Adair, not the biggest of kids, but showing that, hey, sometimes you don't need to be big to have some heart, picking up the first down.
Yeah, nice, great run and moving the sticks. And one thing we've seen play out here is that they're able to run the ball is American, and their defense is getting longer breaks in between series. When they come out, they've got a little more energy, a little more pop, and it just goes to show you the value of establishing a running game. In football, it's huge.
1st and 10 now for American, and they go back to it. They're up the gut again, and boy, that offensive line is working hard for American High School tonight. You know, the play call here in the second half for American High School has changed a little bit in the sense that they said that we might have found a weakness there on Dougherty Valley's defensive line, and they are basically saying, hey, can your defensive line stop our offensive line? And so far, they haven't been able to. And they go back to Adair on the ground, and again, back up the middle, and again, another pickup of about 7 yards and a first down for Eric Adair.
It's just really interesting to see such a different offensive approach than we saw in the first half. Where maybe this is what they wanted to do in the first half, but getting stopped early on first down, they had to go to the pass sooner than they wanted to. But right now, they're just getting chunks on each snap, and it's great for them to have established this running game in the second half.
Okay, 1st and 10 now for American High School from the 29-yard line. This time, look at Drew Lyell again, so really a two-headed monster here in the backfield for American High School. First it's Eric Adair, then it's Drew Lyell. So if you get too much Adair, we're going to hit you up with some Lyell. Try and stop us.
Yeah, and they've kind of shifted their running attack. It's just hard yards. They're not really trying to get it outside right now. It's just right up the middle is working. And they're just going to keep going to it until it can be stopped.
2nd and 4 now. Back to Adair, back up the gut, and he picks up about 3 yards close to the first down. About a minute and a half left to play here in the third quarter in San Ramon, California at Dougherty Valley High School. And that'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the Eagles. Big defensive possession for Dougherty Valley High School here.
Yeah, and I think they've got to make some kind of adjustment here, whether it's just they got to bring a safety even lower down. They really got to focus on stopping this run.
Back to the run again, and that's a look at, I believe, Arturo Barsudo, the big fullback there for American High School. It looks as if he has picked up the first down, and yes, the referee has just called it a first down. So, hey, if it ain't broke, right, you don't touch it. And man, it's gone from a 2-headed monster to a 3-headed monster. Arturo Barsudo getting a little of the action in there also. So it's working. The running game really working for American High School. 1st and 10 now from the 19-yard line. And guess what? They're running again. But this time we have a flag on the play. That time they went back to Drew Lyle as he picked up a couple of yards before the flag was tossed onto the field. At what point do you throw out a little play action, or do you not get too greedy if you're head coach Brett Casey for American?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it seems like as long as they're picking up 4-5 yards on each running play, which it's been 6 or 7 in a row now, I guess you don't go away from it. But if you get pushed back like this, like they are right now, you might think about it because it looks like indeed they are going to be pushed back. So you've done all that running play, and I suppose Dougherty might be now anticipating a play action or something. But yeah, eventually it should open up, and if it doesn't, certainly some kind of passing play, whether it's a bubble screen or something, kind of a different look, because eventually Dougherty is going to key in on the runs up the middle.
Yeah, the penalty, a holding call on American High School. And on 1st and 20, it's another run, this time to Adair again. And, man, I know I sound like a broken record, right? But he runs it up that left side and picks up 9 yards, making it the 2nd and 10 as the final moments of the third quarter tick away here at Dougherty Valley High School in San Ramon, California. But, yeah, hey, they're going to try to run off another play here with about 7 seconds left in the third quarter. 6 seconds, 5, 4, and back to Adair, back up the gut. Adair keeping it on his feet this time. And, boy, we've been giving a lot of credit to the offensive line, but let's give credit to Adair that time, the small guy playing big and refusing to go down there, picking up what seems to be close to a first down there as we tick away the third quarter. Your score, 14-14, a tied ball game here at Dougherty Valley High School. And your thoughts, Willie? Dougherty Valley, you had all that momentum going into the half, 14-0. Give credit to American. Came out 14 unanswered points in the third quarter.
They came out just the way they needed to, and just really good hard running. Nothing too fancy, keeping the feet moving by their two backs. And I'm just looking right now. The body language says it all. And really, for a young team, they got to try to change that. They got to get something going, and hopefully they will do that.
Yeah, with that said, you big into social networking? I am. You have a Facebook page? I've got 2.
Okay.
I tweet. I'm hip. I'm with it. Tell us a little bit about our social networking.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube and youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Yeah, and if you haven't got a chance to check out our Facebook page, check it out. Very cool stuff. All right, it is the start of the fourth quarter, 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. And that is Eric Adair this time stumbling into the zone. No one to tackle him, and he is in for the score. And just like that, 20 unanswered points for American High School as they take their first lead of the ballgame behind the legs of Eric Adair, 20-14. Wow.
Yeah, that was a nice run. And surprising as it might sound, it was actually kind of it was different. It threw off Dougherty a little bit because it was just a little bit of a power play to the outside as opposed to right up the middle, and he had made a few nice cuts and all kinds of daylight out there.
Oh, and the extra point snap goes across the head, and place kicker Alex Merrill has to drop on it, and so that's, you don't want to say may come back to haunt American High School, but that's the second time we've seen a snap go over the head of either the punter or holder now for American High School. 2 plays that I'm sure American wish they could have back.
Yeah, it's a tough play, and especially, having all that momentum. There's a mistake. We can't really say yet that it's costly, but like you said, quite possibly could come back to haunt them in this fourth quarter.
Excuse me, and we have an injured player down on the floor. That is a look at American High School, Sigon Giwa. Looks like you may also be cramping up. You have any bananas? Let's go give these kids some bananas.
Yeah, I already ate my Cliff Bar, but these guys gotta hydrate. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're doing everything they can, but there's a lot of cramping out there tonight.
Boy, I'm really impressed with what this offensive line for American has been able to do. I mean, they go into the half, nothing going at halftime, and head coach Brett Casey says to them, guys, you know what we're good at? We're good at running the ball. We're good at running behind our big guys. How much credit has to go out to the big boys on the front line right now?
Well, I think a lot, especially after the first half. I think they got pushed around a little bit, and they kind of took offense to it, decided to come out in the second half, and they're playing, a lot better. And whereas we saw runs up the middle kind of stop for little or no gain in the first half, obviously on that last series, all runs up the middle, you have to give a lot of credit to the offensive line and fullback. And what's going to be interesting is a series like that. Does fatigue play a factor when they go back to offense, and do they go right back to that? Because that was a tough series, and those big guys up front are going to be breathing a little heavier as this game progresses, and it could be an opportunity for Dougherty to get a stop, and that's what they need. When they forced American to go to the passing game, they had more success defensively.
Yeah, at what point when you're Dougherty Valley do you load 8 men in the box and say, hey, we're going to start stopping your running game? We don't think you're going to pass anymore because, honestly, American doesn't need a pass right now. A little pooch kick to get the kickoff started here, and that's, dangerous situation there for, who looks to be number 47 for Dougherty Valley High School, and that is a look at Mason Furpo. But you're always taught on a big fly ball kick like that to make the fair catch, and you see why there. Furpo almost lit up because he did not make a fair catch there, but nonetheless a good field possession for Dougherty Valley. We do, however, have a flag on the play.
Yeah, I just think that could have been bad. I think that was proper. I think this is kind of a subject of debate, I suppose, but proper sportsmanship to not really go for something too big there, because he was defenseless, and I think that could have been a lot worse than it was. So, different people have different opinions on that, but my hat's off to the players to not really try to take that guy's head off on that play.
The penalty on the play, holding by Dougherty Valley, so that'll push them back 10 yards as they will start the ball off there on the 34-yard line on their possession. Trying to get something going here to bounce back from this 20 to 14 deficit rather, and they stick to the ground, and that's a look at tailback Afolabi Adati, and that's really the first time we've called out Adati's name, but from what we've seen from Dougherty Valley, they have quite a few options in their backfield. No gain on the play. That'll make it 2nd and 10 with 11 and a half minutes to play here in San Ramon, California at Dougherty Valley High School. And this look at Freak dropping back. He's got some time. He's got a man open to the sideline, but this ball is picked off by American's quarterback, and that's number 10, D'Angelo Cox, and he is going all the way in for the score. Touchdown, American High School. So Dougherty Valley electing to try to get something done on the offensive side.
Well, there was instant penetration up front from the defensive line. The receiver on Dougherty didn't have a chance to locate the ball. I'm not sure it mattered because D'Angelo Cox reading the eyes the whole way and jumping that ball early with a huge pick six and the way the flow of this game has been going, almost a dagger. If you're Dougherty, you got to forget about it. You're about to get the ball back. Just short-term memory and get your offense rolling again.
And American electing to go for 2 points, and that's a 2-point conversion by Drew Lyle. So they go back to the run game for the 2-point conversion. Go back to the defensive side there, and D'Angelo Cox really made a good read, like you said, on the eyes of Dougherty Valley quarterback Umar Farik. Farik didn't really go through his progressions on that play, went to his go-to guy, it seemed like the whole time. And Cox looking, hey, I see you, guy. You're going to toss this way. I'm gonna intercept you, and picks up the 6 points there. So great play there by Cox.
Yeah, great play. He had the benefit of good penetration from his defensive line, and what that allowed was, like you were saying, quarterback Farouk couldn't go through his reads. He had to go to his first target that he had, and the safety. I think Cox was playing safety on that play. Read it the whole way, and pick six. Just a huge swing, just a huge swing in momentum here in the second half.
Yeah, let's keep in mind for those who are just tuning in, Dougherty Valley led 14-0 at the half and have now given up 28 unanswered points to American. As that is a look at Dougherty Valley's Gurit Bangu bringing the ball back to the 39-yard line. So you don't want to say this is a must possession, but we're getting to that point of the ballgame where Dougherty Valley's got to get something going here on the offensive side of things.
They do. There's still plenty of time left, but you haven't given your defense much of a break throughout this half, and they're tired. They're kind of fatigued, and like you said, it's not a must score, but the momentum needs to change in order for this game to change for Dougherty. So they need to get something going here.
Okay, 1st and 10 for Dougherty Valley, and that's a handoff to tailback. I believe that is Afalabi Adati, picking up about a yard and going to make it 2nd and 9 now for the Wildcats. Yeah, really that, we talked a lot about the offensive line and the running backs for American High School, but really this defensive line has really subtly started to stop the offensive units of Dougherty Valley.
Well, they've made the proper adjustments. And
2nd and 9, and we have a fumble on the play as Dougherty Valley quarterback Umar Farouk couldn't come up with the ball, but we do have a flag on the play. And the penalty is a false start from Dougherty Valley, which might in fact be a little bit of a blessing in disguise there, considering the fact that it looked like American came up with that loose ball. So despite the penalty, maybe some good fortune, believe it or not, for Dougherty Valley High School.
Now what you're going to see is with the cushion that they have, American's defense can really get aggressive here and kind of start calling a few more, exotic plays, blitzes here and there, and that's bad news for Dougherty. What you could try to do is counter it, catch them when they're blitzing too many guys with a screen or something like that. But often when the score gets like this, it just opens up the playbook on the defensive side of the ball, and often it's hard for an offense in a hole like this to bounce back out, seeing all these different looks defensively.
Okay, Dougherty Valley electing to call a timeout here, probably discussing, hey guys, we got to get things going here. Good timeout here for Dougherty Valley, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's a good timeout. 2nd down and 15. You're hoping to get a chunk here and make it into a manageable 3rd down situation.
So looking back at this game, I think it's safe to say we can call it a game of the tale of two halves for both teams. Again, keep in mind, if you're just joining us, The home team, Dougherty Valley, led 14-0 at half, but you look at the scoreboard now, it is 28-14, and it is American High School with the lead, scoring 28 unanswered points with 10.5 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 15 now. And that's a look at Farouk dropping back. He's got a man to the sideline. Nice look there, and it is wideout. Aaron Doe not able to pick up the grab as the ball fumbles through his hands, and maybe a little early contact there, and no call from American High School.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying. Is Terry George, he's able to be a little more aggressive on defense with the cushion that his offense is, and defense, I should say, the cushion that he's got, and able to kind of gamble a little bit. And it pays off. He breaks up the play, no call. So nice play from George.
Okay, third and 15 now for Dougherty Valley High School. 10 minutes, 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And they like to go back to the ground, and that is a look at Afalabi Adiati, and he picks up about a yard. It's going to make it 4th and long now, about 4th and 13. And what do you think about that play call? 10 minutes left in the game, and you elect to run down by 2 scores.
Well, maybe you try to catch him off guard, and Captain DJK for American, able not fooled on the play, shed the block, and wrapped up nicely. So good play there defensively, and yeah, the play call is interesting, but sometimes you just got to switch it up. Try anything you can do here, down 14.
Okay, so it's going to be 4th and 13 now. Is Dougherty Valley elects to punt. Nice looking kick there from punter Calvin Montano. And that is a look at D'Angelo Cox cutting to the outside, and Cox with the extra burst of speed and taking it all the way down to the 46-yard line. And, we've seen Cox sparingly tonight, but, boy, talking about some big plays for Cox. Seems like whenever the ball is in that kid's hands, a big play is about to happen. Keep in mind he is the one who had the interception for the touchdown, giving American High School the 28-14 lead.
Yeah, that was a solid punt return there, and we'll see what American can do with another good setup field position-wise on offense here.
Okay, 1st and 10 for American High School, and then they elect to run. This time this is a look at tailback Eric Adair cutting to the outside, and just no stopping the running game tonight for American High School on Dougherty Valley's side. So you can't find an answer to that offensive line in tailback Eric Adair.
Well, you can factor in a lot of things. One, the injuries, and normally on defense, that's the side of the ball where you're going to see a lot of substitutions and stuff to give offensive different looks. And I think tonight, being shorthanded, they're unable to make a lot of substitutions defensively, and fatigue playing a huge factor here.
Back to the running game for American High School. Back to Adair. He picks up another couple of yards, making it about 3rd and 2 now for American High School. Your thoughts of Adair so far? We mentioned he's not the biggest kid, but boy, he knows. He's what I like to call crafty. One of those kids who is elusive, and you're taught never to get hit if you're a tailback. And I think he learned that lesson pretty well. He's very crafty, safe to say.
Yeah, safe to say. He's a cagey guy, crafty, and he can go up the middle like we've seen for some hard yards, and we've also seen him bounce out. He's got a good balance of downhill running, and he's also got the jukes.
And we have a penalty on the play on 3rd and 2 for American High School. What looks to be on American Dougherty. And that will give American a first down. And, boy, you hate to see the penalty giving American the first down if you're Dougherty Valley right now.
You do. I'm not sure exactly the call, but I have noticed that the game was getting a little chippy early on in this series. And so I think that perhaps that was a, unsportsmanlike conduct or something. We couldn't hear it, but I think the refs were kind of had enough maybe and just cut it out right there probably.
Yeah, maybe frustration coming out on Dougherty Valley's side here, giving up a 14-0 lead. And boy, Drew Lyle, a kid refusing to go down, stumbling his way to close to a first down, but we do have a penalty again on the play. And this time it will be on American High School. So that'll push him back a couple of yards. So we're going back and forth here on penalties. And, you know, it's still a little early in the season here for all the players. So you'll see more and more penalties in the first 3 to 4 games, you know, first 4 games of the season as you would opposed to later on in the season. So one of those things that happens.
Yeah, we've seen penalties on both sides, false starts, and I don't know what the call was on that one, but absolutely right. Early on in the season, kind of still getting used to the flow of the game.
And on 1st and 13, the handoff is to Eric Adair, and he finds a gap and takes it down to close to a first down. And again, it's a broken record, right? I mean, keep running it up the gut. It's working.
Yeah, it's tough for Dougherty now. They've just been on the field for so long. The time of possession, it must be heavy in Americans' favor. So it's just a fatigue factor now, and I don't know if there's much they can do adjustment-wise to try to get in there and stop some of these runs.
And on 2nd and 2, it's Adair again, this time picking up the first down, picking up about 7 yards, giving American the first down.
And I'm not sure that we've seen a passing play.
You know, I was about to say that. I'm curious to look at the box score after this ball game and the second half stats for American. I'm assuming that there's probably, maybe 2 pass plays?
Maybe 2. Yeah, it's been all running game this half, absolutely. Tale of 2 halves, no question.
Okay, 1st and 10 now for American High School from the 19-yard line. Two backs in the backfield and back to Adair. This time, Dougherty Valley getting some pressure up front, and that is Wildcats defensive end, number 74, Kiefer Longson with a nice stop. And, you know, you'll take any victory that you can. Kiefer making the nice stop there. And a gain of 1 for American right now is a victory for Dougherty Valley High School.
Absolutely. And you know, they're not out. I mean, we haven't seen the kicking game utilized too much in this area of the field. So, you know, if you're Dougherty, get a stop. You know, you might be able to hold this thing to 2-possession game. It's not over yet.
Okay, 2nd and 8 now from the 17-yard line, and they go back to Eric Adair. Adair with the whole fun in the cut and cuts up the middle, stumbling, and we have a loose ball on the field. No word yet who recovered, but Adair losing the ball there. But it looks like American does recover the ball. Woo, that would have been a huge turnover for Dougherty Valley. That's the first time Adair, we can honestly say, made a mistake. I mean, you just kind of stumbled trying to pick up those extra yards, so you can't fault the kid, but lost the ball in the process. But American recovering their own fumble. So that'll make it 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for American High School. And they elect to go with Adair again, this time to the left side, but nowhere to run. He picks up about 2 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd and goal. But how big of a play would that have been had Dougherty Valley been able to fall on that ball and force the turnover there?
Yeah, it would have been absolutely huge. Certainly would have been deep in their own territory, but it would have been just the kind of momentum play, a turnover they would need to get this thing back on track for them. Right now, they're in dire straits trying to get a stop here. It's important that they do here on this play.
Okay, 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line for American High School. Back to Adair. Adair trying to cut it upfield and trying to get through the gut. Looks like he picks up a yard. Dougherty Valley strung there on the defensive line. As Adair's a little bit short of the goal line. Picks up maybe a yard. The 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. And if Dougherty Valley is going to make any kind of run, they need a stop here and now.
And timeout.
And we look to have a timeout from American High School. And Willie, tell us a little bit about PlayOn Sports and what it can do for all our fans.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championships events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Thank you, Willie. You know what's amazing is that in the first 2 games of the season, we've been seeing this running game from American High School and how impressive it's been here in the second half. Would you believe me if I told you they only average 57 yards a game?
No, that's surprising.
All right, 3rd and 1 now for American is quarterback Ryan Parker keeping it for himself, and he stumbles across the line for the touchdown, giving American another score as they take the lead now 34-14. That is 34 unanswered points here in the second half for American High School. So Barker with his second touchdown of the game, and it's been a quiet 2 touchdowns for Barker, but whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, and he'll be giving some props to his running backs for sure on those 2 touchdowns.
So again, another rushing touchdown for American High School as they take the 34-14 lead. As place kicker Alex Merrill looks to put up the extra point, and looks like I have a stumble there, and big time hit and big time stop there by Dougherty Valley's Jacob Patrid. So the conversion not going to happen there for American High School as the score is now 34-14. 34 unanswered points for American with 4 minutes and 36 seconds left in this ballgame. Thoughts right now? Remember, this home team, Dougherty Valley, led 14-0, and to give up 34 unanswered points, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it's tough, and that's sometimes what happens to a young team. That they're going to go back and say, hey, we got to just learn how to do what we did in the first half for all 4 quarters. I think they're going to be fine. We've got some talented players. For American, they're going to go back and say the opposite. Do what we did in the second half for the first half, same thing. Play solid all 4 quarters, and they've already had a little trouble too in their kicking game, unable to convert on a couple extra points. So definitely go back and work on that, this week in practice.
Yeah, without question. If you're Dougherty Valley at this point, you want to finish this game out strong and give yourself some momentum as they have one more game in non-conference before they start their league play. So, still have time to work out the kinks here and really want to build up that momentum and keep it going here for next week's game. And the kickoff is out too, and returned by number 31 for Dougherty Valley. That is a look at Cody Niziak as he takes it up to the 36-yard line, but we do have a flag on the play.
Yeah, certainly some bright spots for Dougherty. This game probably out of reach now. I mean, never say, never give up, but going to be tough to come back for sure. But, bright spots, we've got I'd say a really solid defensive line. And offensively, without all the injuries, I wonder what this team would look like, because they're able to run the ball effectively tonight despite those injuries. So going forward, they're going to want to just focus on their strengths and keep kind of just build off it and obviously cut down on mistakes too.
And Dougherty Valley with losing the ball there for a moment as quarterback Umar Farouk can't handle it as he falls across it. And that'll bring up 2nd and 11 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in this ball game. Here on Play On Sports, we like to give out a player of the game. And boy, you want to talk about a team effort. Can we give our player of the game to the offensive line of American High School?
That's not a bad idea. I mean, gosh, we've seen a pick 6 too, and some nice play from the DBs. Great hard running by committee from American. So, shoot, I don't know. There's a lot of ways we could go. Definitely going to have to consult after the game. And I like that idea, though, the whole offensive line.
All right, that brings us 2nd and 11. Got a flag on the play as the ball falls through the hands of tight end number 82, who we do not have on the roster, but they can't come up with the grab. Nice little ball toss there by quarterback Umar Farouk. Just a little bit behind him, however. So we officially have 4 minutes left in this ball game in San Ramon, California at Dougherty Valley High School. Your score, American High School, the visiting team leading 34-14 over the Wildcats of Dougherty Valley.
I guess there must have been a number switch or something late, a jersey switch, because I got the varsity program that they hand out at the front. No 82. That's surprising. I'm gonna bet that it's a JV guy's jersey or something. Or actually, they probably have different jerseys. Not gonna bet that.
Okay, 3rd and 11 now. We got a little screen pass out to the outside, and that's a look at number 18, wide out. Aaron Doe picking up some nice positive yardage there for Dougherty Valley. And boy, it's been a long time since we've seen some positive yardage there for Dougherty Valley's offensive unit.
Yeah, it's tough yardage there because 33-yard Turo. Berserto came over and put a nice hit on the receiver and limiting any yards after the catch. But anything that Dougherty can get going is big at this point, and you're absolutely right. Some nice positive yards there in a passing play, which is also positive to take moving forward.
Okay, 4th and 3 now on the 32-yard line. 3 minutes, 17 seconds left to play in this ball game. Dougherty Valley having to go for it. Actually, they have the punting unit out right now, and that's a look at punter Calvin Montano in the backfield. Nice little kick there from Montano. It's D'Angelo Cox set to receive, and ball bounces back, and it's downed by Dougherty Valley. So that's probably a case of just stop the bleeding at this point, not going for it on 4th and 3. We do have a flag on the play. 2 minutes, 55 seconds left in this one. American High School leading host Dougherty Valley High School, 34-14. And again, if you're just joining us, the Wildcats, the Dougherty Valley Wildcats led this game 14-0 at the half. However, it's just been a completely different look to this game in the second half as American has come up and really dominated on the offensive side of the ball and really dominated by running the ball.
Yeah, it's tough to pinpoint exactly what changed. I mean, I pointed out fatigue probably played a factor, but it was just a complete momentum shift in American's favor. And what we saw in the first half was a defensive line for Dougherty getting some great penetration, and we kind of saw that still making some plays up there. Don't get me wrong, but we saw that definitely slowed in the second half. And how or what the halftime speech was, I'd like to know. Would have liked to have been a fly on the wall in that room.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 8 for Dougherty, for American High School, up 34-14. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show where we will select our player of the game. I'm saying offensive line, but we can't get a bunch of offensive line guys in this press box. It's a little too crowded, right?
Don't think they can fit in here. No way.
A can of sardines. I don't think that's going to happen. So, offensive line, technically, you're kind of my pick for players of the game, but we've got to limit it to one player. So make sure to check out our player of the game as well as a wrap up of all the action from the ball game that's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. 2 minutes left in this ball game. American High School up 34-14, 35 now for American as they are just running out the clock. And that is a look at Drew Lyle. And let's talk about both these tailbacks for American High School while we have a moment here. Lyle and Eric Adair. Both these players really getting a workload. And like I mentioned before, it's not like this has been happening all season long. This team only averaged 56 yards a game rushing. Do they start rushing the ball a lot more at this point throughout the season?
Yeah, I think they're going to. They've got to like the results of the second half, obviously. But I still think when we talked to Coach, Coach
Brett Casey?
Yeah, Coach Casey. He said, "Look, we got to clean up the mistakes," and despite the score, I'm not sure he's going to be fully satisfied with the performance because, like we were talking about, it's been two different stories in each half, and he's going to go back to the tape, and they're going to have to clean up a lot of the mistakes on offense as far as false starts, and going to have to work on the kicking game. So even though they've run away with this a little bit here in the second half, still have plenty of work to do in the following week and weeks to come in this season. But definitely their running game is a bright point from this game. But, also in the first half, it was their passing game that looked really good, despite, defensive penetration from Dougherty. They had some passing highlights in the first half. So I think all around you got to feel pretty good about your offense. Defensively, pick six, you'll take that anytime, and really getting fired up in the second half. What they're going to want to do is learn how to come out fast. Come out. Don't come out flat, and that just takes experience and everything like that and warming up. So that's what they'll be looking to do, and Dougherty will look to obviously play a complete game.
And with that said, quarterback Ryan Barker elects to kneel the ball, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We invite you to stay tuned to Play On Sports for our post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action on our post-game show, and we'll have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, American High School has defeated host Dougherty Valley High School 34-14 on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity. And they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback. A second opportunity by Bosback. Lift violation call. It's over the neck call. Oh my goodness! Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take it 3 games to 2.
36-35 and driving, and oh, baby! Shrigley with the jam, and it was with emphasis. And it's the foul, and listen to these fans.
Do you know who's standing up right behind us? Tony Bland, who is the head recruiter for San Diego State. I think he's drooling. Somebody get that man a napkin.
Quick score on this drive. There goes a handoff to Zeller, trying to go straight ahead, but he is met by Wall. Now he breaks out to the outside, gets across the 30, 35, on the right, 40, midfield. He's running down the sidelines. He's going to go all the way as he's at the 10, 5, touchdown. Patrick Zeller he stood up at the line of scrimmage and broke out to his left to the far sidelines, and he was in a foot race, and he went all the way for the touchdown. Broke a tackle and made it nice and showed his speed as he got outside for the touchdown.
Back in the backfield to the left is Campbell. Hernandez takes the snap, play action to Campbell. Looks down the field. Now here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit. He breaks the tackle, rolls left. Now he's going to cut upfield. He's going to break another tackle, and then another tackle down the sideline. Gets a block inside the 5. What a touchdown! Hernandez goes 33 yards in spectacular fashion, breaking 4 tackles along the way, including 2 in the backfield, and Hilltop has tied this one up at 29.
Grant with a big, strong defensive rebound. He brings it back down the floor again, and another slam dunk. Jeremy Grant can run the point, and he can fly. Huge dunk, 2 big dunks in the last
Bullard
minute.
trying to close it out. Deep ball, up in the air, Cram. Bringing it back, Arbizo. Cram over in 3, free opportunity. Look for Rodabaugh, no, pass middle, Weimer!
Ball game.
25-19. Foothill wins it 3-1.
Because this kid has definitely proven that he can make things happen here in this ball game.
They will go with him. Bula Graft on a stretch run, just breaking tackles. The little man is in the clear to Tory territory. The 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Knights. What a run, the freshman, Bula Graft.
Ooh, I tell you what. There were at least 3 times on that run that he should have gone down or he should have been wrapped up. Missed tackles there cost La Jolla Country Day as Bola Graft, the freshman running back for Bishops, is able to take it in. And that was a determined run there, Andy.
So 1st and 10. Brandon Lewis in the shotgun. Has time to throw. And he'll fire, and he has a man diving catch. Did he hold on to it? He did. What a catch from Kendall Keys. And that may be the KBC Sports Player of the Week.
What a catch he laid himself out there, and a great throw, as you said. Read it nicely, did Lewis, and really caught his receiver on the go, and just kind of put it out there right on the outstretch of his fingertips. He laid out, and he made a catch.
1-1.
You know when a pitcher is behind an account and throws his breaking ball, he's feeling it.
The pitch is going to be fisted to second base on a liner, and the ball is caught by McGrew, and Valley Christian wins the game on a Cameron Stewart no-hitter.
Wow, what a way to go out if you're Cameron Stewart. A no-no in the championship game. If there's scouts out there, they had to be impressed by this young kid's velocity, control, and breaking ball all worked well today. He had it going for this Valley Christian team.
What a gem. He's going to give it to Tyree on an exchange against the zone, do a little 3-man weave. This is Tyrell back with it. Tyrell's going to go lob backdoor. Tyree Robinson with a flush.
Now that was nice. Very nice design play.
Uwaba back there. Bogart takes a snap. He's going to run the play. He's going to throw. He's got a man open at the 10. It's underthrown. It's incomplete. No, or is it caught? It is a catch. Wow, juggling catch inside the 5-yard line. Moliga. Was that Moliga pulling that one in? It is Moliga. Boy, that ball was deflected by one of the Falcons, and then Moliga, he lands on the ground and pulls it in. What a catch.
3 men in the backfield, back to the wing. This time inside counter to Telefaro. No, they're going to throw this one. He's got a man open. And what a catch! What a grab by tight end Joe Gigantino. He must have bobbled that ball 4 times in the air, and he was actually tipped by the defender and had the presence of mind to keep his concentration and make the grab. Unbelievable catch. And the ball at the 29-yard line of the Eagles, and you can see the defense, they're still bewildered. How did he come up with that grab?
Even with 2 defenders around him and 4 big. That's so unconventional for a guy to handle the ball so well. January with the one-hand jam.
He was not going to be denied there. Coming over was Milmo.
Bradshaw Christian's going to bring the starting unit out on the field one more time.
Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com here at Dougherty Valley High School. I'm Eric Hodge, joined by our player of the game, a tailback of American High School. This is Eric Adair joining me. Eric, great game. First and foremost, let's talk about the first half of this game and the second half of the game. You guys go into the locker room trailing 14-0 and come out in the second half looking like a team possessed, taking the win home tonight, 34-14, 34 unanswered points. What did Coach say to you guys at the half?
Pretty much he just said, work your hardest. We did okay the first half, just little mistakes that we needed to pick up in the second half. And everybody just came together. Everybody pretty much so we told ourselves we just needed to work a little harder and we get points. And I told my team I'd lead. I told them I was going to get as many yards as I could and I was going to push the pile.
Yeah, you definitely
That's
were.
what we did.
You definitely were a leader tonight. Now, what amazes me is that entering this game, your first 2 games, this team only averaged 56 yards on the ground. Tonight, you must have, I don't have the exact stats on me, but you guys must have had at least 200 yards on the ground. What was the difference tonight in the running game as opposed to the first 2 games of the season?
First 2 games. This was probably my hardest running game out of the last 3. First 2, I wasn't really hitting the holes. I was trying to bounce it to the outside every chance I could. And this game, I actually started hitting the holes. My team had faith. I had faith in my line. They were blocking like they were supposed to.
With this one, you guys improved to 2-1 in the season. Going into the half, you guys were trailing 14-0, as mentioned before. What does that do for you, knowing that you're 2-1 right now and not 1-2?
Man, I feel so much better. First half, I knew we were still going to pick it up in the second half, but, man, it just feels good to actually have the W.
Let's talk a little bit about the offensive line really quick. Those boys were big tonight. Those boys worked hard tonight. What did they do for you tonight? I mean, the holes were there for you all night, it seemed like.
We just noticed everybody was a lot bigger than us. And in practice, we just tell ourselves, everybody's going to be bigger than us. We just got to work harder than they do. Have a bigger heart.
And that heart was there tonight for Eric Adair. Congratulations, our player of the game for PlayOnSports.com.
Thank you.
As you guys improved to 2-1 on the season, good luck next week and the following week when you guys start conference play. So with that said, we will be back here shortly with our post-game wrap-up. Eric Adair, congratulations on player of the game. Make sure to give credit to your offensive line.
Oh, of course.
We'll
Taking them out to eat tonight.
There you go. We'll see you guys in a bit.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream? Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs. And
all right, back out here live at Dougherty Valley High School, where Dougherty Valley has just lost to American High School out of Fremont tonight in 34-14. And boy, talk about the tale of 2 halves. I think that's how we've kind of broke down tonight's game. Of course, Dougherty Valley led this thing 14-0 at the half. Going into the second half, American just turned into a completely different team.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out with a lot more energy, a lot more fire, a lot more passion in the second half, and really didn't play too bad of a first half, but mistakes here and there cost them, and I think ultimately just fatigue kind of on Dougherty's side. All the injuries and stuff like that really hurt him in the second half.
Yeah, Dougherty Valley had 3 guys out with injury going into the night, so yeah, definitely hindered them a little bit. Let's talk about the running game tonight for American High School and how impressive it was in the second half, especially down 14-0. Head coach Brett Casey said, "Hey guys, we're going to grind it out," and boy, did it work for them tonight. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. Just kind of switched up to a power running game and just didn't shy away. Called the same play, I think, 6-7 times in a row, and just picked up chunks all along the way. And it was really a credit to everybody on offense, especially the offensive line, making some big blocks and hard running from 2 or 3 running backs at least. So obviously, we gave the player of the game to Eric Adair, but just great running in the second half. And I think they've got a lot of bright spots to kind of work off of next week going into the head of the rest of the season.
Yeah, they start conference play in 2 weeks, so they definitely have the momentum. If you are Dougherty Valley and your first-year head coach, Nick Tiza, what do you take from this game? How do you actually gain some positive after losing such a heartbreaker like this?
Yeah, well, I try not to hang my head too low. You played a great first half. You shut out your opponent, went up 14-0, were able to move the ball, pass and run, and played great defense. And really, I think you just got to tell your players, look, we're hit with some bad injuries. I think you guys, we have the ability. We saw it. You saw it for an entire half that that the ability and talent is there. Just got to put it together for 4 quarters. And I think once they start to heal up, hopefully some of their guys kind of improve over the next couple of weeks and get a little bit deeper of a bench, they should be all right.
Yeah, I was there tonight for Dougherty Valley. Just couldn't put it together in the second half. With that, they dropped to 0-3 on the season. As for American High School, they improved to 2-1, and they are looking for their first winning season since 2007, so off to the right track. For Willie McFarland, I am Eric Hodge and the rest of our team. Thank you for watching our production of Play On Sports. And remember, make sure to log on to PlayOnSports.com for all your latest coverage in high school sports. We'll see you next time.